Check, check, 1, 2. Can you just say same thing?
Check, check, 1, 2.
All right, excellent.
All right, can you hear this?
I heard bump bump.
Yep. All right, great.
All right. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Excellent. Good, good. All right. All right, cool. All right, so it's five after. We can start at any time. Just be an easy discussion. Just we're just pretty much just hanging out, so no worries. And I think they could hear us now anyway. So, you know,
All right, cool.
ice already been broken.
Yeah. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just been
All right.
working, drawing, and working.
That's what we all been doing. It's just been drawing and working myself. Yeah, man. Every Tuesdays here live on 90 Day Anime Studios.
Very nice.
At 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I know
Sorry
you've
if
been
I'm a
doing a
little
lot of
late.
drawing. I see you on Instagram all the time, even late night and early morning.
Yeah. Um. So every Tuesday nights from 10:30 to 11, I do after party drink and draw with a couple of my friends. We
Ah,
just sit down and we draw and we talk about pop culture and real life stuff, like artist stuff, anything. Pretty much, we just shooting the shit. If that's okay for me to say.
no, that's okay, man. Hey, it's 7 o'clock. All the kids should be doing their homework or at least be in their room playing the video game. So it's all good. Yes, you can cuss around here.
All right,
Just don't make
all
it
right,
too vulgar.
all right. I won't.
All right. But we're gonna be talking about Mortal Kombat, so I don't know how we can lighten the load onto that because it's an R-rated movie, so it's very
Yeah.
adult orientated. But we're gonna be going back and forth to just talking about drawing and art and also the Mortal Kombat movie. And you said yourself that you had seen the Mortal Kombat movie, right?
Yeah, I've seen it twice so far. I had to watch it twice, not because I was a fan. I just wanted to know what was going on.
You want to know the hype?
Yeah. I even though I grew up with Mortal Kombat, it's always been in the house. I respect it. I play it, but not as much as I do Street Fighter. But
Right.
so when I found out this movie was coming out, I was hoping it would be what I expected any fighting game movie would be.
Okay. Well, we're not
And
gonna go too much into spoils, and we're not gonna go too crazy head toward what our main thoughts are. I like to at least wait toward the middle of anything there and whatnot before we even move forward to that, or before we
oh,
give our
okay.
final thought what we really thought about it. But I like to have at first like a little light discussion about the movie itself. There, I grew up on Mortal Kombat. Heck, I think I'm older than you. I'm 45. How old are you?
32.
32. So I got a decade over you and plus some. So I grew up in the age where Mortal Kombat was pretty much placed first in the arcade stores or whatnot. When it came first came out, and it was a huge phenomenon when Mortal Kombat came. It was different from the norm from other any other video game out there. You got people tearing out hearts, spines, blood, gore. It was one of those games where you needed to place your quarter on the dash of the arcade machine just to say you're next because there'll be a line of quarters out there and a line of people waiting to play the games. It was an insane era when it came to like gaming, when it came to Mortal Kombat. I'm sure you probably had a taste of that, but not the first gen.
Yeah. Yeah, actually the first gen.
Yeah. You actually
I
you saw it when it yeah, you probably have.
so I was at least 5 or 6 playing playing the game with my brothers, and it was groundbreaking. It was definitely something that I've never experienced before. Not even with Street Fighter. You had to enter a blood code for Street Fighter,
Yeah.
and also a color code, but the blood was already there and the colors were already vibrant. We had it for Sega Genesis. My mom She bought this game and she loved it. She used to play as Raiden.
Say word for real.
Yep, yep.
Nice.
And she would do the the launch attack, and
From
she
which
learned how
character?
to Raiden,
Oh, okay.
and she would cheese that move constantly. Like our house is a house game of fight, like a house of fighting games. Pretty much, we had every single close to any single one that came out to the U.S.
Well, you are definitely blessed, my friend, because not many people was privileged enough to actually have cool parents like that to be able to enjoy the game in peace. Because this was one of those games where, believe it or not, this game got attacked hard in the
Yeah.
past and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. They actually was trying to get it off the market at one point
Oh
because they thought
yes,
they thought it was promoting too much violence to the youth.
yeah. The I think that was one of the reasons why they had like a rating system.
That's right. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And
But
they definitely changed the way how we saw gaming.
definitely, it definitely changed the whole entire market when it came down to the whole gaming experience, whatnot. We have a comment in the we have a comment Ed from Ed. I played the MK games when I used to have this the Genesis. I remember the Sega Genesis. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I actually had the game Genie. Yeah, that ever get Oh, I gotta show that off, brother. Leave that right there. I gotta show that off.
Oh, what the Goro?
Yeah, I'm gonna show that off right now. Let me see here. Let me see here. Gotta show that off.
Thank you. Wait, hold on.
Wow, son, that is nice.
I'm trying to see. Oh, that okay.
Yeah, I
Because
looked at.
I was trying to see what you was drawing, but I can't.
No, no, I'll show you in a minute. But that looks nice, man. I love the dreads, the scales that you put onto
Thank
the
you.
skin texture. That is sweet, my friend.
I wanted to work on Kung Lao, and only because maybe like I told you that I was like I may finish up this Goro, I may not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't happen, and so yeah, man. I was like, you know what? Let's just do this Goro
Oh
because
yeah, I saw you starting on the Kung Lao or whatnot. I was like, oh snap, he's gonna go straight up and start working on that. I'm like, all right, cool. But because he's one of the protagonists. Am I right? Or at least one of the good guys, at least.
yes.
Well, was that the great Kung Lao, or was that the descendant of the great Kung Lao?
Um, you had me there. So wait, this is the more. I wanted to draw the Mortal Kombat 2 Kung Lao.
Okay.
So he might be the descendant.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't get to see the full image of it on that. Yeah, I thought you were gonna. I was gonna blow it up eventually. But yeah, there's two Kung Laos, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, yeah. Let me show you what I've been was working on. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna just share my screen here. All right. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah. So right now I'm actually working
Ooh.
on Ermac. I don't know if you can see the screen there, Sean.
Yeah, I definitely see that Ermac.
Yeah, I'm doing like one of the other versions of Ermac there. One we had the hoodie. I'm not doing the red ninja skin like everybody else always, in the first few gens in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
To me, that's what I was saying in my first pre-show at 6 o'clock before when I started on this. I always, he was to me, he was always the red ninja. It was like the yellow,
Right.
blue, and the green and whatnot. And they all had like basically the same skin, but I didn't want to go that route. Obviously, I wanted to do something a little bit different from the other generation of adaptations of the design wise, I should say. Because all my other drawings that I've done with Mortal Kombat characters, um, I, this one seems going to be a little bit different because I got the hoodies. He looks very dark and mysterious. All the other ones that I have done is not so. But since you're doing Your Goro. Let me show you my Goro. Now it's not as clean and comic book style like yours though, but I tried my
And
best
that,
onto that.
I actually like that Goro, like that version of Goro
Appreciative,
where
appreciative.
he has the yin yang,
Yeah,
definitely. And no, that is a clean Goro.
I appreciative thing. Thank you on that. I'll take that compliment. Definitely, I'll definitely take that. And then also before that one, actually I should say after last week, what I did is I did Sindel, the screaming banshee, the queen of Outworld.
I like how that came out.
Yeah, me too. And
Oh man,
and before that one, yeah, I liked it. I really I had fun messing around with the hair and whatnot, making it wish around because she uses her hair as like different appendages too in her attacks. So I wanted
right.
to have all that adapted into my artwork, and then the outer glow of her banshee scream attack when it comes down to it. So I had fun with this one here. I had to simplify a little bit because I'm only doing this between 2 to 3 hours time limited. So
Right.
you know what I mean. And let me just show you a few others that I had done. I did Shang Tsung, the soul sucking sorcerer.
Yeah,
So
that came
cool.
out really nice too. I like
And
that.
did before that one Raiden, the Thunder God,
That was
the Guardian of Earth Realm. So yeah, I've been enjoying Mortal Kombat since the trailer
yeah.
dropped.
Oh, right. That was like what,
The end of
almost two
March.
months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like mid March till the end and whatnot. Then I heard the trailer drop, and I heard there was a new adaptation to the movie. I was like, you know what? I'm going to dedicate Tuesdays just doing nothing but Mortal Kombat artwork, drawings of characters, and just talking about Mortal Kombat all in general because I was very excited. And in it all, we have a comment in there. We have another comment from Ed. Let me just read it out here. Um, it's the Karens and religious group were overreacting over the game series a lot, which the problem which is their own fault for not teaching kids about the difference between fiction and reality. You're definitely right on that, Ed. Yeah, I definitely hear you. You're right
No,
about that.
spot on. Spot on. At that time, but then again, like how, like being that sort of person, how do you even explain to your kid like this sort of thing, and then to like be like, you can't play this video game,
Yeah.
you
And,
know?
and you can't tell kids anything because you tell them don't do it, they're going to do it regardless.
Right.
And actually, when you tell them no, and and it was me when I was a kid too. Telling them no just makes them want to do it even more now. So
You know, but at the time, like it was like that sort of information was definitely accessible for me
yeah,
as a kid because my older brothers were 5 6 years older than I was
there you
at the
go.
time,
Yeah.
so they were definitely watching Akira, and I was definitely not asleep watching Akira with them,
Mm,
or Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
Well, my mom was the catalyst of that. She she pretty much picks up the games, and we played, and we, how like you have a bunch of cousins come over and you play, you stay on the controller until you lose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we did it at the house. And my mom didn't care, as long as as long as you're doing right outside, like outside the game,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not hurting anyone, you're not being like finish him and trying to rip off someone's head in the middle of school. It's
Yeah.
fine. It was fine.
Well, I was in high school when it first came out, so I actually had a little bit more leverage, and it was actually very heavily big in the local pizza store. I don't know if you remember what pizza shops used to have
That
arcade machines in there.
Yeah,
You could just chill there, put a quarter in, wait for your pizza slice to get warmed up, and you get to play
of
a little bit of
course.
Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
Of
You can't do that
course.
no more. They don't want your ass in there.
I mean, we got this one spot here in Staten Island where you can have your beer, your food, and there's an arcade in the back. They just reopened it,
Hmm.
but there's so many regulations that even get into the arcade section.
Oh yeah. Well, nowadays, yeah,
Yeah, but like you have to make sure that it's wiped down before you even play,
yeah,
before and after, just to keeps a mind keep a mind's peace. You
yeah.
know.
A friend took me out to the spot in Brooklyn, and it was kind of like it was like a comic book restaurant, like a little hole in the wall though. But their gimmick was that you get free gameplays on these arcade machines while you eat. So I mean, they had like one of those machines where they had like all sorts of like 20 25 video games, and you could like select and whatnot. Mortal Kombat being one of them, and you could just play all like for hours, as long as you're still
Right.
sitting there eating whatnot. It's like one of those chicken and burger joints, that you see on the corner and
Oh
whatnot.
yeah.
And you had the arcade machine. You could just chill there and hang out all day. And as long as you're just spending money there, you can play all you want. Let's see here. Thank you, Richard, for watching, and Caitlin, thank you for checking out the artwork. Don't you like it? Make sure you press the like button, guys. If you like what you see, press the like button. It'll show appreciative, and that you support artists and you like what they do and like their art styles. I really appreciate it, guys. You go ahead and do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also make sure to follow Sean. I put his where you can find him on the scroll there. He's on Instagram, and also he's on Facebook as well. But definitely check him out on Instagram. He's looking for followers, just as I and whatnot. And he does a lot of live drawing sessions, so you can check out his work skills in play.
Oh yeah. Thank
So,
you.
so now we're in the 20-minute mark inside here. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat, the live action 2021 movie. All
Ooh.
right. I checked it out. I grew up on the whole nostalgia of the 1995 Mortal Kombat. Now it has a cult following, but it does have this cringe and cheese factor in it all. And I know this movie is more of like a updated uh, version of it all. With the graphics, the CGI, we have the technology to show off what we want to show off and whatnot. A lot more brutal. It's an R rating. I think the one in '95,
Yes.
I think that was a
Was
PG
PG
13.
13? Yeah.
So you didn't even get like the full fatalities, and there wasn't a lot of blood showing as well. But when I'll tell you this little short story, and we'll get into the critiques and the review a little bit. When I first saw it, I worked in a movie theater, Grand Plaza in Co-op City in the Bronx. I
Okay.
worked in a concession stand, and we had the honor. Our manager was very nice enough to allow us to watch the movie before it was played out to the public. So when our shift was done, he locked up. We all locked up, and we all went into the theater. Just us, just the staff, and we got our own personal viewing of Mortal Kombat on
That's
not yet.
awesome.
So that was so hype. I'm talking about like, dude. After that movie, we like left the theater like doing moves and just making sound effects. I mean, we were just so freaking hype, and we were like just in it. I mean, it was great then, but cheesy now. But when it was just the time era of it all, because they had the video gaming and you got to see your characters in live action. So anyway, um, enough about what I'm not. Before I even say anything, what was your thoughts on to? Don't give like a definite review on what you think if it's bad or good, but just say when you watch it. What was your thoughts when you were watching it?
All right. So I do want to agree with you. When I first saw the '95 um Mortal Kombat, I definitely felt ecstatic. As a kid, you're just doing backflips and doing all the moves and stuff like that. So I definitely could relate to that. It was definitely a fun experience as a kid. As you get older, you grow out of things and you realize that, you know. But I still enjoyed the '95.
Yeah,
Um, I was pretty much at home watching the 2021 movie, and yeah, um, should I give it like a personal grade or
Well,
opinion?
we'll wait that till the end. I just
Okay.
want to hear your thoughts while you're watching the movie. Like, what are your thoughts when you're watching the movie? Like, when we like I just like how I expressed it with the '95. I was hyped. I was like, yeah, this is awesome, yo, for real. What, yo, Scorpion? Oh snap, yo, Johnny Cage. You know what I mean? Luke,
Yeah.
Shang Tsung, the guy who played Shang Tsung in that movie, killed it. I mean, he
Yeah,
killed
he
so
was
much
awesome.
they had to put him in a video game. I mean, they had to put his likeness in MK11. I mean, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. And so yeah, for 2011, I wasn't bored. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Definitely was not bored at all.
And did you like you so you were entertained basically. You were watching it. You were good with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like, was it, see, now I want to just dive in so I can get people like, what? He was not bored? Let me tell you
All
something.
right, do it. Come on, man. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let's
All right,
talk. Let's talk.
I'm diving in. All right. So, yeah, though I wasn't bored, I mean not bored meaning I didn't have to change the channel. I didn't have to change to a different movie or show. I really wanted to see what this was about. It moved just like any other movie or any other video game movie. Uh, was I satisfied with it? No, but the movie was the movie, and it I knew that there was gonna. I felt like I should keep my expectations low, only
Really?
because it's a, yeah, one, it's a fighting game. Two, I read in a review that they were going to have a certain character play in this movie, and I think we all know who now. And and yeah, uh, we like me and the consensus of the group agreed that this may be a dumpster fire.
Oh my
Now,
god.
how good of a dumpster fire this could be? Like, do you, I gave it the same expectations as I would for Godzilla versus King Kong.
All right. All right.
Straight up. Only only because it's like, what do you expect? Do you want to see people mindlessly beat on each other? It's the same. Not they're not one and the same, but it that's the type of vibe that I'm giving off to it.
Mm.
And as cheesy as it was, and as like as it was, I didn't. It wasn't a bad dumpster fire. I give it.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad dumpster fire. It was entertaining for the most part, but it was pretty bad, and I'm kind of shocked at James Wan.
You know they already are contemplating on doing four more movies, right? You know about that, right?
Yes, and I hope it's a lot better.
And the guy who plays Sub Zero, he already signed up for four more movies.
Awesome.
You
But
know.
wait, all right.
Yeah. All
So
right. Yeah. I know. You want to get into the spoilers, whatnot. But let me just say.
no,
Let me just say how what I thought of it. Okay.
all
Um.
right.
I hear you. I wasn't bored either. Maybe the second act, I was like looking at my phone, which that shows that your interest is treading somewhere and whatnot. And I was the complete opposite. I was actually very hyped for this movie, so hyped that I dedicated Tuesday nights drawing the characters. And when I saw that first trailer, and seeing like how Scorpion and Sub Zero was fighting, and he like sliced blood out of him and made that to a knife and then jabbed it in the side, I was like hooked. I was like, yo, this is the Mortal Kombat movie we definitely need, bro. I can't wait for it. We have a comment in the chat here. Godzilla versus King Kong was better than Mortal Kombat. Caitlin's I heard people say that, and I think they're going, but and Godzilla, I know he's been out for a while, but it's like it's beating the box office. Really, it's like 400 million. in the box office right now. I don't know if this is worldwide, but it's like 400 million in the box office right now. So it's
Right.
definitely kicked some butt. But if it was so anime-ish, I mean not anime, cartoony. But what do you expected from a King Kong versus Godzilla?
Right.
You know
Like
what I
you
mean?
shouldn't expect anything from that sort of movie. If anything, like the same company that made King Kong Godzilla now is making a Gundam movie or contemplating it or they just got the green light or some sort. But
I want
yeah,
to see Akira. I've been hearing rumors about Kira doing a live adaptation to that. I've been wanting to see that for a minute. I mean, I know they have this probably movies out there that could probably um, reminisce to the lore, but I want to see Akira. But anyway, let me go back to what I was saying with Mortal Kombat.
right.
Um,
How
so,
do you expect anything from that? You know,
well,
like
the trailer tricked me, bro. I mean, like, well, I don't want to say that it tricked me. I don't. It's not like I'm already giving my judgment call on the movie, and I'm not really doing that. It's just that what happened is that when I first saw the first 20 minutes of the movie, give or take,
right.
um, I was hooked. I was like watching it, and I was like, "Yo, this is sick, yo!" But we seen that storyline with Scorpion so many times before. This Mortal Kombat Legacy, and also Scorpion, the animation one they did. So we saw
Yes.
that story run already between Scorpion and the Lin Kuei and the whole story behind that. So we've seen that done so many times. So it's very easy to mimic that. So it was like a cut and paste, and then here's the real movie right afterwards. All right.
They
So
throw in the twist.
yeah.
Um, but my thing is the take that they had for Scorpion and Sub Zero in Legacy, I love that they left nobody, if you know what I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and also they gave more depth to it. Like they weren't just enemies for life. It was a fox and hound sort of feel,
Well,
and I enjoyed that as well.
well, don't forget this was Mortal Kombat Legacy was supposed to
What
be a TV series.
right?
So they actually had the leverage to expand and develop the characters a lot more. And when you're trying to time frame everything and cram everything in a 90-minute to 2 hour movie, it's very hard to do that. But their problem was if they were planning on doing 5 movies, they could have done that and just
Yeah,
expanded
they
it.
could have. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
you're right. Yeah, yeah. They could have just focused on a small chess pieces of characters and worked on that and developed those characters and then add in all the other characters. But I will say this, and you know what? I will say this: their main issue is their main protagonist.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
their main issue. Their main issue is
that
the
was the
main
twist.
protagonist. Yes, and everybody has said already like I don't even remember that dude's name. He's so bland and boring. I know it's Cole, right? Cole, young Cole, something
Right.
like that.
Who young?
What's
Cole
that?
Young.
Cole Young. All right, Cole Young. With him, he was supposed to be the person we follow to observe and see this new world open up and whatnot and experiences what he experiences. The problem with him is just that he doesn't throw in those experiences. He gets jumped into it, but after that, he's like kind of a faded character in the background.
Right. Until like the very end.
Well, yeah, yeah, and we'll get into that too, man. We'll get into that. We have a comment here. They have the animation series as well. Yeah, I know
Right.
about the Mortal Kombat. I actually used to watch that on Saturday mornings, believe it or not, and I was like, I was still young, but it was still cool to see the characters having a storyline. But it was really the cartoon was very far fetched. But it's only was far fetched is because it was made to sell toys, sell toys and
Yep.
merchandising. I
You know
mean,
what's crazy?
yeah,
As a kid, I went to see Mortal Kombat live.
no, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it?
It was as a kid. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I don't remember it, but I remember my my godmother, she took me to watch it, and also it came with this like VHS movie talking about like the rivalry between Scorpion and Sub Zero,
Yeah.
and man, I'll tell you what. I mean, I guess, oof. I want to say that like the movie did stick to its guns when it came to like characters.
Right.
I mean, some characters like their mannerisms were definitely different from the ones that you saw in '95,
Right. Of
or
course.
even the ones that you've seen in the game. And I just chucked it up as like, all right, for example, may I speak
Yeah.
further
Go
than
ahead.
that,
Go ahead.
just
Go
to
for it. Go for
describe
it, man.
Liu
Yo,
Kang?
you got the mic.
All right, cool. So let's talk about Liu Kang for a second. A lot of people were not pleased. They called him the John Walker of Liu Kang, and and I'm like, listen, this Liu Kang that you're seeing right now is definitely not the Liu Kang that you saw in '95. The Liu Kang that you saw in
Right.
'95 was
Yeah.
a lot more Americanized
Yeah.
than the one that you saw now. And also, he's more in tune with the monks,
Right. Right.
that of, he's living his monk life. So if he's a little enlightened and a little like, here, let me hold this for you, or here, let me show you the way, and he's all like bright-eyed
Yeah.
and quite naive,
Yeah.
he wasn't too naive because he threw that fireball quick.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And I thought, all right, this is a whole new take of this a whole different take of Liu Kang that I hadn't really seen.
Right. But did
You
you
know,
like
it's
it?
very, did I like it?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's, that's what we got. But did I like it? I was okay with it.
Well,
I wasn't mad at it.
but you have
I
to
was
admit, I get you on that whole thing with, the Northern 95 was very Americanized, but it was nice to see a Liu Kang. Just my perspective, it was nice to see Liu Kang under, like, feeling his roots. And don't forget, the one in the 95, before he left for America, he was involved with the monks very heavily until, he decided just, he just wanted to be out. So
right.
there were a time when Liu Kang was very involved and very consumed into that culture when it came down to it, and I enjoyed that kind of aspect with it. He followed Raiden. He knew about, he knows that there's a thunder god. He knows the lore very heavily. In fact, that he was prepared and peppered to for this noble task of himself. So it was nice to see that. But who really stole the show?
Kano.
Exactly. Kano
Kano.
stole the show, bro.
He carried the whole set. And he carried the director too.
Yeah, man. Yo, for real. When they first introduced him, I was I was like, yo, this guy is funny. You know what he kind of remind me of? He kind of remind me of Captain Boomerang from the Suicide Squad. Maybe
Oh,
because the Australian accent, maybe that's what
yeah.
it was. But the mannerisms still the same a little bit. He always has like that one liner, and he knows he's very quick with the quickness back insults and stuff like that. So I kind of get that kind of vibe from him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely was a lot funnier. I felt like they kind of gave him like this Deadpoolish vibe,
Yeah.
and not because he sat there and drew a comic of him killing the lizard,
Ha!
but more of his mannerisms, the way that he talked to everybody. He just had no coof,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
tact,
He just
nothing.
didn't care, man. He just it was all about him. It was all about profit. What's in it for him? And that was, I mean, he wasn't a good guy. I mean, so we all knew that eventually, his path was going to be a lot different from everyone else's and whatnot. So it was kind of nice to see, they sticking to that lore. I mean, they could have obviously reconned him heavily and just
Yeah.
kept him like that, but they didn't. I'm glad they didn't and whatnot. Um, design wise of characters now. Um, before we move forward, we just you brought it up. What do you thought about the reptile?
Oh, wasn't there more than one reptile?
Well, I know there were stories, lores about like there was one more than one reptile, and they all named reptile, reptile, reptile.
Right,
But but I hear you. But again, we talking about like introducing a character first time for everybody to see and whatnot. And I do realize I know there in the reptile has different versions where he is supposed to be fully reptiled and whatnot. You know what I mean? So but was this the right way to introduce that character to the new well not a new audience, but the audience who were looking forward to seeing their Mortal
right.
Kombat characters? Was this the right direction?
I
How you felt
honestly,
about
I
it?
felt like I didn't like this reptile. It could have, but in my head, I'm really hoping that like this is just a reptile of many, and we're not really seeing like the human ninja
Right,
reptile. This is just a reptile
right.
that because it was so I guess it just wasn't really identified. I think that was the only character that just didn't introduce themselves.
Right.
If you notice, like in the whole movie, everybody's introducing themselves, like a Dora the Explorer cartoon. Like I didn't get it. It was like, why can't you just say their name, like the other characters say their names
Yeah, yeah.
and do that?
Well,
But
you know how they do nowadays when it comes to movies. Everything has to be spoon fed to everybody and whatnot. So of course, they always have to have like one person that have to offer the expedition so everybody can know what's going on. And then of course, like there was like this one part in yeah, I'm gonna bring up Batwoman. There was this one part of Batwoman. I watched Batwoman, and the first season with Ruby Rose, she like talking to her stepsister Mary, and she says, "This is Mary." He says, "Yes, Mary. I know we've been stepsisters for blah 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 years and whatnot." And so it's like those little kind of expedition points where you have to throw out the spoon feed people. They get them catched up to, so you don't have to like say automatically this is da 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 and whatnot. So they say stupid lines like that, you know.
right, no, I definitely get you. Like I definitely get you on that one. But when you have to pop out of nowhere and then everybody looks right,
Yeah,
and these characters, or like most people know these characters. Whoever plays video games, whoever plays Mortal Kombat, they know the character. You don't have another character telling like, oh, this is right,
yeah.
but they're popping up and saying, I'm this person. And
Oh, you talking about the Sub Zero line?
not just Sub Zero, but it was Kung Lao too. It was Sonya. It was pretty much everybody.
Because I was saying to myself too, is when Shang Tsung was ordering Sub Zero to go to Earth to assassinate the fighters and whatnot. He kept calling him by his real name, and then he had
Right.
him. My name is Sub Zero. I mean, like, how long you been working with Shang Tsung up to this point to now have to tell him that you are named Sub Zero? Did you this the moment you decided to call yourself Sub Zero, or was he just disrespecting you by calling you by your government, and you can't remind him, like, dude,
Right.
it's
Like
Sub Zero, for real.
only a few people are allowed. Only a few
You
people.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, how many
You
times I
ain't
gotta
one
keep
of
telling
them.
you, bro? It's Sub Zero, man. Like. All right. How about Raiden? Did you like this Raiden? Going to the '95 Raiden. A lot of people always complain. They liked the '95 Raiden. He had charisma. He had nice wingers, and but only thing that people were complaining about was the look. He didn't wear the hat. He was Caucasian for one thing. They thought he would be better
Yes.
off if he was an Asian or Asian descent, something like that. Now they have one that's Asian descent, and he wears the freaking hat. Finally, thank you. But what are your thoughts on the Raiden character?
I mean, Lambert definitely did wear the hat before in a few scenes.
It was like five
And
seconds, bro.
right. Um but all in all, I felt like I was satisfied with this Raiden.
Okay.
Was it my favorite Raiden? No. Once again, Legacy takes that Raiden. Um,
You liked the Legacy Raiden? I
I
didn't.
liked,
I didn't enjoy
I,
that storyline at all.
I
That
loved that Legacy Raiden.
that was the
It,
one when he was in the asylum, right?
yes,
I didn't
and
like that story, bro. I was. It was just. It was
it was
too
such a
dark and.
yeah, like which Mortal Kombat was supposed to be. You're literally, you know, decapitating him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say.
I
You
know. Yeah,
definitely,
but dark with
but
the gore, but not with the story, though. I mean, like, all right, not dark. It was like dark and depressing. He was stuck in an asylum. He was a god for one thing. I didn't get the whole idea about him being sent to Earth and then having amnesia and whatnot. I mean, I feel like they didn't have a story, so they made up some kind of like some fan fiction or some kind of like,
yes,
you know what I
this
mean?
was definitely a
It
fan
was.
fiction. But you know what? It was such a great concept for me. Like it hit for me. Like imagine being someone of that caliber, of that nature, and then being nerfed by humans out of all people that you can just literally shock them into smithereens
Right.
and just hold them captive, and you have to convince people that you are a god, and not convince people that you are a god like Kanye West, but like convince you, like, listen, I am the thunder god. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing right now? And and to be held captive in an insane asylum was absolutely hilarious to me. It in a way that I can only describe it as irony.
Right.
Like, you call yourself a god to like mere people who may not have the same charisma, power, or even like um vibe that you do, and you instantly get called crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it.
I get you on that point. I get you. But they've not tread off on the movie so much. I don't want to go too.
But as for the 2011 movie, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed that Raiden. That Raiden was pretty cool. I just hope that he would get more involved.
Well, you ever hear that joke about the gods and Raiden? Gods of useless. I mean, like the gods are
Right.
always useless when it comes to like helping them out, and Shao Kahn is doing things where he shouldn't be doing, but the guys don't do nothing. They just want to wait and see how it plays off and whatnot. So I kind of get that. I used to watch Mortal Kombat Conquest. I don't know if you're familiar with that series,
Yes.
and was during my drawing sessions here, I've been rewatching it with a YouTuber who did commentaries on it, and he's even said the same thing many times. He's talking about how Raiden is so useless and whatnot, and he could do all these things, but he could have easily had taken care of it 1, 2, 3 if he had just stepped in. But the whole idea about it is that the gods, if it's like Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
Resurrection F, when Beerus showed up and Goku was fighting Frieza and whatnot. Yeah, Beerus could have stepped in and just took care of things, but it'll make the story boring and bland. You want to see a little bit of struggle, and you want to see our main character, try to accomplish without the help of gods. When Beerus was first discovered, not discovered, was thrown into the story, I was gonna get a little bit peeved, a little bit, where I'm thinking like, oh my god, every time Goku gets into some trouble, he has a god, a fighter as one thing, that could help him, and an angel that could rewind time. I mean, these guys have like so much what's the right word, handicaps or buffers that
Yeah.
I mean, like I wouldn't want to be a bad guy fighting Goku if he has all this clout. I'm done. So,
Yeah.
but
Like, it makes no sense. It's like the house always wins, and the house
exactly,
is anywhere that Goku goes.
it's bad enough they have sensu beans and the time chamber where they could go in and train for a year in an hour. I mean, it's bad
Right?
enough.
For an hour, like, you're trained for a full year, and you may be like even more stronger. Like, that's crazy. you know what? I didn't even think about that. And of all the years watching the franchise,
Exactly. If you think about
I've
it, they
never.
should have been killed 10 times over by Frieza, uh, Cell, Boo, all of them 10 times over. But if it wasn't for sensu beings, time chambers, and having links to gods, they would have been ass. Earth would have been like rocks by now. Future Trunks, there would have been no future.
Yeah, pretty much. No, you're absolutely right when it comes
so,
down to
so when it comes
it.
to like Raiden not getting so much involved, I mean, yeah, he could, but then what will be the point? This should just be called the Raiden movie. You know what I mean? But back to the story at hand. When they introduce, look, I forgot this the freaking character's name already. I was gonna say Kung Lao, but it's Young Cole Young,
Yeah, Cole Young.
Cole Young. Spoilers, guys. We're gonna go into spoils now. All right, we're like 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. We're gonna go into spoils. He's for one thing, he's the descendant of Scorpion.
Yes.
They kind of hinted at where they were wrapping his hands in the glove wraps in yellow, whatnot, and then
Yeah, black
also
and
the
yellow.
visions, right? Exactly, and and then when they introduce him, he's an MMA fighter, a very bad one that is too, and I mean, I don't, I like the fact that the hero struggles, and obviously he's not going to be, you want to be kicking butt from the first off and whatnot. We don't, we always tease about Mary Sue's and all that kind of thing. So
Right.
I understand, I get that he taps out. I get it. Boom, he's down his luck. He doesn't, he's not up to the accomplishment he wanted. So I get it. All right, we have to make some development steps here for him so he can achieve his goal and become number one. In which we thinking he's going to be involved in the tournament. Which, of course, there is no tournament.
Right.
There's no tournament, guys. It's called Mortal Kombat, and there is no tournament. And basically, what the whole idea is Shang Tsung is pissed off, and he did one tournament away, and they're like, you know what? We're just gonna kill off the competition, and then they'll have
Yeah.
no fighters to compete, and we'll just automatically win by default.
Exactly. Let's just clean house right now because I they can't, like, why wait? Why wait?
Exactly. I like that concept, and I like that bad guys doing evil things because they're evil because we like to be evil and we want to cheat and be evil. So I like
Mm,
that. I get it. I like that concept, it makes a good prequel to the actual movie if they even get to that. But a lot of people was looking forward to seeing an actual tournament. But I could forgive for that. I mean, all right, cool. I'm
I
good with
mean, the
that.
fact that there was no tournament, I kind of liked it. You know,
Right.
I like the fact that there was no tournament yet. This is only the beginning. That means there will be more to come. Um, what I didn't like was definitely the fact how they used this new character Cole Young and just how they went about it. Me, and I'm very surprised once again, James Wan. I'm very surprised that there was he didn't go the other way with how he was going to present Scorpion, or
right.
he could presented Scorpion. You know, you do horror films, dog. Like, what's going
Right.
on?
No, what would you would how would you have rewrite it if that was the case then?
How? Possession. Straight up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're telling me that he, just as his bloodline, it'll be an easy access for him to exit out of the nether realm to get into the real world to fight as him.
Yeah. Make him become the next Scorpion.
Right.
Like,
I
like,
like that, bro. I like that.
like, don't even have him like possess and come back as Cole Young and make it a whole horror like tease, sort of rundown. I mean, like, literally have Scorpion let his hate consume him on some
Right.
Star Wars ish. Like, tell him that your body is now being taken over. You would never lose another battle again. You know?
And you know what would have been the icing on the cake? Him losing his family again. Now it'd be dark, but it's rated R, so why not pull any punches? Because I'll be honest with you, I was kind of annoyed with that family thing. I felt like I was watching a Disney Plus show.
right? I
You know what I
mean,
mean? I mean, I don't want to wish death on nobody, but think of the concept of it all. That like when that whole incident with Goro, and or even with Sub Zero, like his family had passed and whatnot. He lose it all. So that's why. So that's now now he doesn't even care no more. He wants to just join Mortal Kombat and join their cause, and and of course he has vengeance in his mind. And then the Scorpion, as you put it, kind of consume him little by little, and he becomes the next Scorpion.
you know,
That would
no,
be.
not even,
Oh, go
not
ahead.
even no, make him Scorpion. Instead of because it would be like the exorcism of Hanzo Hasashi.
Mm.
You know, have it like that where Hasashi is just Hanzo Hasashi and Scorpion is Cole Young, the descendant of Hanzo Hasashi,
Nice.
and have it like that to where that could have played off easily, you know.
But do you agree with the family getting killed off?
Do I agree?
You don't want the little girl
But
and the mom
but
get
you
killed
know
off, right?
what?
You're like,
Once again R-rated movie that that could have been a possibility, and I think all of us would have been cool with it.
but let me backtrack though onto that. Let me backtrack. The whole fight now with Prince Goro, bro,
Yeah,
he needed better representation than that, man.
that's the prince.
You know what I mean? When they showed that shadow form coming out from the doorway, and whatnot, and to have the fight of all places to be in a barnyard. You know what I'm saying? And then to fight a newbie like the main protagonist, the newbie defeated the sub boss of
Yeah,
MK1.
it,
Defeated.
it's it's very it's disheartening. That is a very disheartening moment.
I mean,
Like,
like, wow. I mean, like, I could see like maybe, all right, you won this round. I'll be back for the sequel. I'll probably even accept that.
yeah,
But of course, a lot of
like
people want to see some fatalities, so they had to do it. But
no, it did not have to be Goro. Goro didn't have to die.
exactly,
He did not have to die.
like they could have used like what was it? What was that race with the teeth and the thing that come out from the
Baraka,
side of Baraka? But they call them like
uh,
katana and
um, uh,
katakins.
Tartar something, Tart,
Yeah,
like
Tartans.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have a comment in here. We have two. Let's see here. Ed says Mortal Kombat is basically a survival game. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sort of, kinda.
And yeah, survival for the Earth realm. And
Yeah.
Caitlin says, "Nah, the tournament would have been great." I agree, but apparently they had plans for four more movies, and now like they had plans for four movies. Will it happen? So far, it's doing very well in the box office. I hear it's still doing well, but I hear the reviews from a lot of people, and they all think the same way we're talking right now. But hopefully, people will still spend their money and support this film. So hopefully, maybe they will hear us out, and like how they did Ninja Turtles. Well, yeah, Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. They finally brought Bebop and Rocksteady in the sequel that everybody
Right.
wanted. So hopefully they hear us out and they will make those adjustments for part two, and hopefully not make an annihilation
Oof.
blueprint. Right? So,
Yeah. No,
but
definitely, because we can't afford another annihilation. And I was just talking to Jody about that. I was like, if you've seen Annihilation, you would know like how they did Jax then was just as bad as how they did Jax
oh,
now.
bro, oh my god, what is that, man?
Like, did you see the little toothpick connects connects, build a erect set
Dude, Kano
arms.
was like,
Like
"Do they make that
I
in
don't
men's
even know.
sizes?" Kano
Like
said, "Do they make that in men's sizes?" I bust out laughing, man.
oh man, um, Kano was
He was the
definitely
MVP, man. He was the MVP for real. They should have
yeah
made it.
he
He should have
held
been
it
the
down.
main character, yo. I mean, that Cole Lung, whatever guy, whatever. He was just in the background. He was just there. He was just experiencing everything, but he just was not, and interesting enough for me to catch my attention. I mean, I know he's a new character, but he still could have just stuck with. I mean, Johnny Cage, man. He could have just done the Johnny Cage thing, man, for real. If they did the
Right.
idea you said, then it would make more sense that maybe they're going to bring in Scorpion in the real world by using his bloodline. But
Like it would have made so much more sense to put this person in, you know, and don't hint other than the like maybe the colors of his fighting shorts and his hand bandages. Don't give that other than that, don't give any other hints away that he may be like, this person.
yes,
If you're gonna if you're gonna use like birthmarks, and I'm air quoting here.
yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna use birthmarks and like this is your destiny to fight and so on and so forth, why can't it be his destiny to find the spear of Scorpion, the spearhead of Scorpion, and go through this thing where he's trying to figure out what the hell is going on with him, and Scorpion finally takes control of his body and he becomes Scorpion. No longer Cole Young. He probably may have killed his like family or some sort. If you wanna be that brutal, it's rated R. Like,
Yeah.
let's. I mean, like that ball was dropped as soon as his power, his source of power, is wearing a ramen suit. It when I looked at it, I said ramen noodles, a fancy line of ramen noodles. That's what his power shirt looks like, and then to have the audacity to have it absorb impact,
He was a
just
punching bag in
like
the MAA. He was a punching bag.
right. And I get it. I get what you're saying, but also like we just saw that a long time, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
Hmm.
with Black Panther.
Oh, right, right.
Mm. You know, like give me something like maybe the possession thing was a little typical,
Hmm.
but maybe that's all you really needed
But it's a video game
for
movie.
people.
We would have
It
said,
is
"All
a
right,
video game.
we'll
Yeah,
be okay
it,
with that."
like yeah, it would have been plain and simple. It would have been it would like, instead of like taking him on this like Kingdom Hearts type
Ha!
story, and it was like Cole Young just goes into the world of Mortal Kombat, and and he finally gets powers of his own, and it is a ramen Kuji sweater, and cannot I cannot
Someone said it was a wicker basket. It was a
literally a
wicker
wicker
basket
basket.
outfit. But
That
I,
outfit was just as bad as the Aquaman suit that made him look like an Iroquois. You know which one I'm talking about.
yeah.
Right next to it. So you got the ramen noodles and the Iroquois. I think James Wan did Aquaman as well.
Oh God.
I think.
You think there'll be a sequel to that?
If so, he has to wear the Justice League suit.
Hell yeah.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it.
You know, what I'm gonna say, that wicker basket outfit came from that bracelet that his daughter made and whatnot. I found that was like so Disney Plus, bro. I'm like, I was really tired of the family. I mean, like, I know they wasn't in it so much, but I was like so tired of the whole thing with he had to save his family. You know, and even Raiden was like, "Oh, you concerned about your family so much? Get the hell out!" Like,
Right?
he told him,
Right?
"Go."
Kicked him out. he was like, "Get out! You're in this team. You're not in this team. No way.
Yeah, man, you're gonna get us.
Merc,
You're gonna
no
get us
way."
all killed, man. Get out.
And you saw how he went home. You
Yeah,
saw how he went home. He had his head down. He was like, "They
dude,
kicked me out of the team, baby."
dude. I had that soundtrack of Charlie Brown in my head. You know that one with the
Oh
piano.
no! Oh no! You did.
I
Yes.
had that in play in my head when I started walking into that portal. I was like, dead ass. They should have played that so hard. That would have been awesome. I was like, yo. Speaking of which, back to '95 because again I'm gonna go back and forth because I want to compare the two. I'm gonna keep comparing the two regardless, even though they're two like a decade away, kind of in a way, not really, but you know what I mean. Different generations away. The music, the soundtrack. I was not
Soundtrack was
pumped.
dope.
You like the music?
I did not like the theme song, but
Okay.
yeah, I downloaded the soundtrack, and yeah, I didn't mind. I
You
didn't
know,
mind.
when I watched the '95, what always got me pumped up watching the fights was the music. The music always pumped me up, and I was like
Right.
so hyped. I don't know why. I just didn't feel so hyped for this time. I mean, you know, it didn't occur to me that last battle between Scorpion and Sub Zero was the actual theme, but remixed a little bit. I didn't even
Yeah.
know that was playing. I had to rewatch it again. Oh snap! I didn't even know that was the Mortal Kombat theme playing. When you saw the '95, when the movie first begins, and you see the fire
Yeah.
burst, and you dun 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 dun. I'm like, hell yeah! They didn't even do it
Yeah.
this time.
It was definitely very pumping. The '95 one definitely a banger, but the whole thing is that you know I I would have rather not heard that theme.
Why? Because it's a different animal than the '95. You don't want to reminisce to that.
Not really. Like, even though I love the theme, it's iconic. I would have rather not. I could have done without it.
Hmm.
If you're not gonna do it right, don't do it at all. That's sort of
So they did,
that's sort of.
but they did remix
But
it. Do you find it
also,
was done right? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
but also, but also, even if you didn't do it, I would have I would have cared less. I didn't really care for that sort of thing. I didn't get excited when I heard the music that they played when they played it during that scene.
Right.
And for me to be like a music guy and be like, oh yeah, that's cool, but no, I wasn't a big fan of what they did with the original sample.
Hmm.
I think it just did nothing for me. It was okay. It was just there to be there,
Yeah.
as far as I was concerned. And maybe that's a little harsh. A lot of people on my timeline right now are like, "Oh, stop complaining." I'm not complaining. I wasn't bored. I wasn't impressed either.
Hmm.
I'm right there in the middle. I'm
Right.
all shrugs. And to be completely honest, I am looking forward for the second one. Why? Because it's Mortal Kombat. I want to
Exactly.
see who they bring in after they killed off so many people.
Well, spoilers again, guys. We all both know that at the end they talk about the guy gonna go to Hollywood and gonna go look for somebody. So we all knew who that was. Plus, they were very blatantly clear
Right.
with the poster,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't even show a face because they didn't even cast the person yet and whatnot.
They
So,
just
but
showed a little something, something.
yeah, they joke, but yeah, but no face though. And for a minute, I'll be honest with you, I thought that was Luke Cage because he looked so he looked very very hefty, very thick in that poster. Like he was like a huge guy in that poster holding the cage buckle. And I was like, "Is that Luke Cage?" Like I was a little bit like,
Right.
yeah, will they race bend him and make him make Luke Cage
Now
black?
my whole question is that, like, how are they gonna portray him? Did you like the Did you like the Cage from Legacy?
I'll be honest with you. I don't fully remember the legacy of Cage. I don't remember. I only remember was the Scorpion story and the Raiden story, and then they had a small thing um, with Jax and Sonya Blade. You know, while Jax was
Yeah,
being a cop and
that was
whatnot.
really cool.
You know whatnot, and they talk about Reptile being like some kind of cannibal.
Yeah,
Cabal was some kind of like a scientist, something like that, and he was like doing experiments on people, on himself a little
which
bit.
was which was awesome as well.
You know, but I don't remember the Johnny Cage. Refresh my memory on that. And also we have a comment here. Mark Torres, he says from it came from the radio. What's up, Mark? He says it needed the theme. It needed the theme. I
If,
agree. I
if
agree.
you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. I don't care how. I don't care why you do it, but do it right. I did not like this the take on the theme. Yeah, did it need a theme? Of course. Did he need it that version? No.
No, but you said you
Not
downloaded a couple of soundtracks from the film.
yeah.
Which fight or what from where the music was, so I could look for it myself. Where was it that you liked it? Like, what was the
Uh well, all right, I'm looking through my phone right now and I'm just going to go through it real quick.
side to sidetrack you? Because I know you want to talk to me about Johnny Cage.
Oh, no, no. It's all right. So it's the Mortal Kombat original motion picture soundtrack by Benjamin Wallafish.
Okay,
And I think my favorite one was I would have to say both Hanzo Hasashi and Bihan. They
okay.
also have um, the techno syndrome of Mortal Kombat, and that's the one that I'm talking about, in which I didn't really care for.
Hmm. I
But there's
liked
a
it.
bunch. Yeah, it was the whole like it's hour and 20 minutes long. You just listen to it while you draw, and that's what I do.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes I'll listen. Um, but yeah, I think I've seen a lot more blood and gore and Invincible than I did.
Uh Bro, we need to do a drawing session and do some characters from that animation, I should say, and just discuss Invincible in the near future. What do you think?
Right. No, I agree. I already did a piece on in my sketchbook of Omni Man, and yeah, I could throw down another Invincible character.
You know, yeah, but I don't want to get off sidetrack. But yeah, yeah, I
Right.
will say this: Invincible is a awesome cartoon. I don't want to keep saying anime because I'm into anime, 90-day anime, but it's not an anime. It's a cartoon based from Robert Kirkman and some other writer from The Walking Dead. And when I was pretty impressed. Do you read a comic
Right.
book? Do you read a comic book as well, or do you just watch the
Yeah,
animation?
I have some of the books at home. Well, here, and yeah, I've read a few. Uh, I am a big fan of Ryan Otley.
Okay.
I love his work. So I try to collect like a few of anything that he produces.
So you have a couple of the books, so you know some spoils then.
Um, Not too much.
Okay. We're not gonna
Not
discuss it
too
too much
much.
here, but I was just curious if you
Yeah.
knew some spoils.
Yeah. I know one or two, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask though because I want to. I'm still watching the
No,
Amazon
yeah.
Prime one.
So far, I not one episode disappointed me.
Yeah, yeah, for real, bro. I
Very,
get you
very
on that.
good. But
Story's tight.
I definitely Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
But um yeah, I did not like I didn't like the legacy version. He wasn't as charismatic as he was in the games.
Hmm.
Um so the best Johnny Cage for me was definitely the 95.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay.
Hopefully, they do him justice in the next movie, and they give him his just due, and
They
they don't
did
mess
him
around with
dirty
him too
in
much.
Annihilation.
Oh yeah, they killed him off straight. Like it was,
They did
you
him
know,
dirty.
he killed Goro, man.
I know, right? That was just one big wonder right there. Oh my
Yeah.
god! And but you know what? If you think about it, um, which fight did you like? You enjoyed more? I mean, regardless of the execution, the fight through. Did you enjoy the Johnny Cage fight in '95, or did you enjoy this guy fighting him in the barnyard?
I enjoyed the Johnny Cage one, even though it was very short, and both were very short and sweet.
Yeah, yeah, it was. That's why I asked that question. Because
And he got killed off rather quickly.
yeah,
But what I do respect that Goro actually was giving Cole Young some wallops,
right,
and you didn't really see much of that in the first movie.
yeah.
You know, it was just a chase.
Oh, but don't forget they did give him a nice little montage. Go, you don't forget this is the '90s, so you need to have your montage of him stomping the hell out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They gave him a little something. He killed off one person so far, and then you see him eating. I don't know why they didn't give him more of a fight, because playing against Goro in the original game as a little kid and getting up to that part,
mm,
I didn't really care about Shang Tsung.
you're right.
I cared more about Goro than I did Shang Tsung. So I'm like, I was always afraid of Goro. You know, he was
Dude, he was like a
terrifying.
beast. Yeah, man, he was a
You
beast, man.
know, and if you caught the game over, you saw the skulls in the wall and stuff like that,
Yeah, man.
and it made you feel like that could be you. You're another corner in his house. You know, he's gonna feng shui your skull into the wall. Like it's gonna be a great look for his furniture or something. And I did not get that. Like even though as a kid I was afraid of him then too, because of how the animatronic moved. I guess
Yeah, yeah. It was very impressive. I heard it was
it
like
was.
I think it was like two people controlling that. Like, oh, it was a thing on top of someone's shoulders, and then they had how many puppeteers control? I think they said like 10
Yeah,
puppeteers controlling that monstrosity. Oh my god.
yeah. Like it was great technology back then.
Yeah.
You know,
CGI
and
now.
I do appreciate. I definitely appreciate the craft, especially coming from like a Henson family,
Hell yeah.
watching the Dark Crystal, Muppets, so on and so forth, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, hell yeah, I was a big fan of that. Um,
Preach.
but the way that they had Goro just kind of like drop the ball, like it was a lot of ball drops in this movie. Um, am I outraged? Nah, because I knew that there was going to be something that maybe wasn't going to be my jam.
Right.
But to see it as like a film, like in a filmmaker's or storyteller's perspective, I had to be fair,
Right.
and try to keep my fanboyish bias out of there.
Now, there was a thing there at the end with Shang Tsung, what he mentioned, because he said, "Oh, we killed off all your fighters." Raiden was saying, and he says, "Death is just another like I forgot this the I don't quote me word for word, but he made it seem like that them dying doesn't make any difference. That like I feel like he could probably resurrect them because they all
Right.
puff into dark clouds at the end. And I'm sorry guys for spoilers if you didn't see the movie, sorry, but they all puff into a smoke, dark smoke. Now, you think there's a chance that they just didn't really die? They will just come back.
Like in 9,
Yeah,
or Yeah.
You think that's what he'll do?
I
Like he'll make them
I
like dark puppets or something like that, like they did.
I would hope so. Only for this case, to where he. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just do this layer real
Because I
quick.
agree with you, man. I mean, like a lot of the fighters there, so much potential, was like kind of wasted a little bit. And and I wanted to see more of Goro, and the way like you said, he's a huge threat. He's the sub boss before you go to the next level, and just to kill him off so easily, it's kind of disappointing to think that you're not going to see this character again. Even though I do know they do have other ones, like I think was that the form with the forearms that look like a cat.
Yeah.
I think
Month. Months. Oh,
because I saw him earlier. I was thinking about
I
drawing
forgot
him,
his name.
but they said in his lore that he's supposed to be even a more danger and more stronger threat than Goro. Like so he was going. So maybe they just want to get rid of him and start pushing out like the new characters or more newer characters because they're like, oh, you already saw him in the first 95, so we're just going to use him as an extra, just knock it out the park, so we can start introducing the more of the other expanded universe characters.
Right.
That's the only thing I gets me. So I kind of feel like you're never gonna see this guy again. But I had a notion maybe they will.
Maybe. Who knows? My whole thing is hopefully if they do add on the other characters from like 2 and 3. I forgot his name too. He had the tiger stripes
Yeah,
on him, right?
exactly. Yeah, forearms and everything.
And
Um,
I know was it Shiva?
yeah, I know you're talking about. That's the female one, right?
Yeah.
That the one who got wasn't even utilized very well in Annihilation. I was
Right.
very pissed and ticked on that one. That was a darn shame. Comment in the chat, Mark Torres. Hey, thank you for talking with us, Mark. It had weight to the character. The CG looked nice, but that's all. The CG had looked nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
the CG was great. Only thing I didn't really appreciate was that that his presence wasn't really announced very well. I mean, even with the family, like you would think if you saw like a first time monstrosity like Goro coming attacking your home, you'll be a little bit more scared than that.
Right.
They felt like they used to this already. Like they're like this was like part three, and they're like, oh hell no, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You see it. You definitely get me
You know what I
when it.
mean? They're like, it's like come on, man. Like I felt, and it also felt like design wise, Mark. It felt like kind of like the Hulk, like the not the Marvel Hulk, but like the first Hulk, not the first Hulk movie, but the one where he fought an
Uh,
abomination. You know what I'm talking about?
Abomination.
In
Yeah,
Harlem.
and
It,
yeah, incredible.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of have that kind of field design, especially in the face because it was very square jaw and pointy cheekbone type structure, and I get that same design from seeing that from the Hulk as well. So I kind of get that kind of look to it. Design wise, yeah, I do agree. It looked great. I like the costumes and accessories they added on to him. It's just the execution of his battle. It was like throwaway. It was like a throwaway.
Right.
It was like
Definitely.
it's like they brought back Frieza and they're like, nah, man. It's like when Frieza got, I'm into Dragon Ball, so that's why I was throwing out things like it's like when Frieza showed up in the Fusion Reborn movie. You're like, oh snap, Frieza's in this, what? And then Gohan gave him one punch, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what the? What did I just see here? They brought back
Like
Frieza.
there was no respect in the name. He's like, yeah, I've been there, done that.
You know what I mean? But it was just. And then when the guy brought out the weapons, those I want to say those sticks by in with his wicker basket suit and whatnot. I mean, where did that come from? It's like, ah,
Um.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It's just you know, they just chose the wrong character to follow on this, and it was only hype when you saw Sub Zero and Scorpion. It felt more of a Sub Zero Scorpion, which you can even see on the poster. That's the main
Right.
focus. But
Yeah, and in which I'm okay with that,
yeah,
but they dropped that ball.
yeah.
They definitely dropped that ball.
So
And all they had to do is, if they were gonna go all the way to like having that sort of feel, they should have just went the route of that. And I gotta keep repeating it because it was just so easy.
yeah,
It was way too easy.
yeah. I mean, if they had plans to do 5 movies, yeah, granted, you don't want to do the tournament, you want to make it like a prequel type feel to it. I mean, like, yeah, show each fighters and having their own journeys, getting prepared for the tournament, and then the last movie will, or we can even do like second to last movie will be the tournament, and then the last movie will be like, I won't say an annihilation, let's not, but you know what I'm trying to say, a little bit of Shao Kahn in that, and then whoever fights the final boss, if it's Liu Kang or if it's this new character, I mean whoever, show Shao Kahn. Hopefully, if they ever do bring Shao Kahn, it will be a better adaptation than we got in Annihilation. I mean, that guy was so
Yeah.
cartoony. He was so cartoony. But we saying a lot of bad negatives. Let's say some positives, all right?
Some positives.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
say some
Kung
positives.
Lao.
All right, let's talk about some nice things we enjoy. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
My man Kung Lao. Probably my second favorite character in the franchise. They did him right. I knew I had a feeling that he wasn't gonna. You know what?
Yeah,
But yeah, my man Kung Lao is definitely. I liked what he did. The fatality, awesome. He felt like him. He looked like him. He moved like him.
yeah,
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed. I did kind of enjoy the quirky, the MK tropes,
right.
the quotes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Test your. It's time to test your might. Remember that when they were
or
talking.
Kano wins.
Yes, and
Yes.
when he kept doing the spin kick on Kano, like kept doing like you ever fight somebody and they kept like spamming that same
Yeah.
swipe kick, and you like, dude, stop it, like.
Yeah. They did just that. That was pretty funny. I enjoyed that. I was like, wow, because the trip was so effective
Yeah.
in the MK series.
And what else you did? What else you liked about it?
Um, I did I did like what else did I like?
It had to be more than that.
About
I mean, I agree with Kung Lao. Yo, he represented the best Kung Lao live adaptation. Because there were several others. Like if you ever seen Mortal Kombat Conquest, but he was representing the ancestor, the great Kung Lao. They did him
right.
dirty in that series, but he still had the hat, which you only saw for a hot second, and then you never see the hat ever again. And then they had 22 episodes, and then you never see the hat again. But the way they had this guy, I love his cockiness. I like the way he moves. That fatality he did on that one that character they just created just to kill off
Yeah. That
was flawless.
that was amazing. Actually, how I saw that part was crazy because my a friend of mine, she posted up a GIF on Facebook. I said, "Is that Kung Lao? Where is this movie come? What is that the movie?" And she was like, "I don't know." I was just like, "Man,
Hell
that
yeah.
better not be the movie," because this was 2 weeks before the movie even came out. She
Oh, I
pulled
didn't
out
want
that
to
GIF.
spoil just yet, huh?
Yeah, look, listen. Even though I expected what I expected, I still don't like spoilers.
I hear you.
Like
I really.
I give people until Tuesday. You know, that's kind of fair. That's a little more
Yeah.
over than 3 days, and then I gotta let it out.
Dude, you had the weekend to see this movie. Come on, go spend those dollars or subscribe to HBO Max and see this. If you didn't really care too much, we have a comment in the chat here. Positives, all the game Easter eggs. Yes, I agree.
Yes,
And the violence was unrestricted. I definitely agree on to that too as well. That deserve a like. There you
yes.
go.
I
Yes,
I, I loved how Sub Zero um did Jax. That was dope.
yes,
I and I also like how the ice formed there too. Like, you know, it wasn't like 95.
yeah,
It was definitely it definitely had like that nice superhero movie villain feel to it. Like it was nice.
yes.
I enjoyed Sub Zero.
Yeah, when he showed up on Earth for the first time, when he went to go assassinate that I keep forgetting his damn name. He's so bland. I'm sorry. Um,
Cole Young.
Kong Young. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna probably ask you again to remind me again, but yeah, when he came through and then he came through the streets and then had like hailstorms and big snowballs falling from the sky, and then he had that, and then he just did that hands gesture with his hand and went woof, and everything's like hitting the streets and all that. I was like, I was pumped. I was like, hell yeah, a Mortal Kombat street battle. I mean, like you see some of the stages, um, kind of manifest itself a little bit when you see like the rolling newspaper falling on the ground, rolling on the streets. You see him. You remember some of the stage? I think that was MK2 or MK3 when he fight up. You see him fighting in the urban streets.
Right.
So I thought I was going to
Uh,
see that.
Somebody was like, "Oh, nobody fights in the streets like that." I was like, "No, they didn't." MK3, they fought in the subway on top of the roof,
Yes,
so anywhere is possible. Who they never said that you know there was rules. What are you talking about? There's
yes.
no rules.
So and then the whole thing with Jax, of course, because that was from the trailer, and I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. I mean, you brought a gun to a freaking what was the right word for it? Like someone was
Ice
actually,
fight.
yeah. I mean, like it was already like guaranteed death, and then it was kind of weird too. Since I'm bringing up Jax. Don't you find it's weird that when the guy showed up at Sonya Blade's house, and then they planned on going with Kano to go check out Raiden's temple. Don't you find it was kind of odd that it was like no one mentioned shit about Jax? Excuse my language, everyone, but no one mentioned Jax. Like Sonya Blade, this is your comrade from the army, and you guys been working together for the last 7 years about this. Nothing in your head said, "Oh, we gotta go find Jax first," because all you heard last about was, "Oh, we're gonna go fight Sub Zero," and no one said Jack about Jax. they like forgot about Homeboy, yo. I like,
Yeah, they kind of left them alone from there. It was like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that?
he's not back then. We don't know.
He's black.
Like it was like they did do him dirty like that, and then he was like, "Look at my arm,
Yo,
Sonya."
but
What
wasn't
they
it
did
weird
to
that
my
he showed
arm.
up at Raiden's temple before they did? I mean, they headed out before he did, and he was
But
already there.
I think Raiden took him in the same way they took in the daughter.
Well, yeah, I kind of expected that, yeah, but before we even knew that was possible, I was weirded out to see like how the hell did Jax show up at the temple before, and then
Quick question:
yeah,
Can you see my drawing? Okay. Am I the camera?
yeah, I see it. It's
All right.
it's a little bit blurry, but I don't know if it's because it's the glare on the lens. But I
Yeah.
definitely could tell the detail was popping, man. I mean, like the shading on the muscle tone, and I see the white marker you're using and whatnot, and yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks sweet from here.
All right. I'll send you a copy.
A knife to a gunfight, yeah. The violent, yeah. Mark, yeah. It's like a knife to a gunfight. That's what Jack Stu was doing. Yes, you know. But
But
I
yeah,
have you on display, man. Yeah, so everybody can see your artwork, man. That
they,
is nice.
they definitely did Jack so wrong from beginning to end. First off, they let him walk around with the mustache
You like
like
the
that.
mustache?
Nah, he kind of looked like Steve Harvey.
Oh snap! What I was thinking, Frank. Forgive me, guys. I forgot. I don't know his last name, but the guy, the lead singer of Queen, he kind of reminded me of a
Freddie
black
Mercury. He had
Freddie
a
Mercury.
Freddie
Freddie Mercury.
Mercury. Yeah.
Black Freddie Mercury. If he had the suspenders.
Like I wish I could have seen more of Jax in action, and I wish there was like a more rugged version of him. He just pops in
you
into
know,
the gym and
yeah,
he's all nonchalant. He's like, "Hey kid, your fighting sucks,"
yeah,
and pretty much hit it. They came in and he's like, "Get in the car if you want to live." Like
yeah.
but but positives,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we keep going back to negatives, bro. Isn't that funny?
but the positive side, a lot of people didn't really a lot of people that I knew didn't like how like his armor grew
Yeah.
in. His armor actually looked pretty cool. I just wish that they started off with that, and he's just having a hard time, just like in Annihilation. Use sort of that,
That
but in the
storyline. Let the
opposite.
military walk in and hook them up with that technology. That would have been a better idea of doing it. What do you
Right.
think?
Um, I did like I like the design of it. I think I like his arms more than I like Cyborg's costume
Hmm.
in Justice League.
Yeah, yeah,
Period.
yeah.
Like
Cyborg costume. It looks kind of like nauseating, scary. Like it looked very organic. Like he was like skin. I mean, no, like a body fleshed out without the skin. And
I
then
think it was a little too organic.
yeah,
I think it should have been plated the same way that they have it in the cartoons and in the comics.
you
so,
know. But but I
seeing
do
his
agree.
arm, right, but seeing his arm, like the wonders, why couldn't they go with that in
Hmm.
Justice League? Because I only say that because I had to draw like at least the chest plate of Cyborg,
Yeah.
and I even though I love getting into detail, but it has to make sense to me,
Hmm.
and I guess it didn't really make sense to me of why does it look like that? But if it ain't your jam, it ain't your jam.
True enough. It would have been a better idea if Jack just disappeared for a while and then he show up to the game with the arms already like hooked up from the military and whatnot. Like he knows somebody was keeping tabs on him to make sure he's good, and then he hooked him up later down the line. Only thing that got me weirded out was, and not weirded out, but had me confused. Like they're in this temple. I get it. We're a couple centuries ahead. Where you probably don't want to go get at. Like, where did they find the technology, and who is living there that knows how to assemble robotic arms in this place in the Raiden
Right.
temple? I mean, they look like they grow their own food. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like they
No,
like
you're
they.
absolutely.
I was
No,
like
you're
wondering
right.
how they doing this.
No, but oh man.
They really rushed the ball on that one. Like, they were like, I mean, like you see these skinless, I mean not skinless, but skin-headed monks coming in, just doing all this technology. I'm like, where do you find these people? I mean, they look like they grew up on a farm right by the river and they grow their own food. How do you get this knowledge? She's like, all right, I'm gonna go build some technology arms on this dude real quick, attach it to his nerves and all that. It doesn't even look like that. Like it didn't even look scientifically and like a technology based science. It didn't even look like
Yeah,
that. It had that ability to have that. They didn't establish that very well.
and they I guess they got next to like Iron Man or something.
It
Tony
was the ex
Stark.
machina
Like
move, man.
they pretty much got him in a cave and just took whatever they can get and just slapped it on.
I
you
mean,
know.
I get it. I mean, it even looked like they just slopped it on, and I mean, like, it looked like little baby T Rex arms. I mean, like, come on, I get it, But and it's very possible. Yeah, it will come out looking like that in a place like that. But it doesn't even look like that kind of place in to begin with to have the technology to do so. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? The
Right.
monks came up. The monks came from the technology realm. From
Right, right. No, we can build them. We have the technology. Wait, hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Two
do your
seconds. I
thing.
just gotta get something to drink. Hold on.
Do your thing, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and get a drink myself, and then in the meantime, while I have you guys watching, I just want to go ahead and just do like a free advertisement here for you, whatnot. Let's see. Hopefully, I won't get cut off. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. Oh, remember, guys. I actually have my own convention. I mentioned this in the pre-show early at 6 o'clock. I have my own pre-show called MCon Anime Fest. Actually, correction, MCon Online Anime Fest. It's going to be on Saturday, May 15th, from 11 a.m. starting till 5 p.m. ending. We're going to have many programs, oodles and oodles of programs going on that day on Saturday, and a pre-show on Friday. We're going to have things for like cosplayers, dance party, lectures, panels. We're going to have things talk about your costumes. Also, we're going to meet voice actors, as you see on the screen there. We have the Team Rocket voice actors coming in to for a personal Q&A with us. We have Rizuki Cosplay. She's going to be doing a cosplay selfie party. Even if you do cosplay, come to this event. And also Peace, he's going to be doing a dance like a superhero on starting at 11 a.m. So many, many, many other programs, believe it or not. And believe it or not, we're also going to be having Lord Frieza, believe it or not, in. So you actually get to talk to an anime character, Lord Frieza, at 2:15. That's right. You get to talk to the tyrant himself from Dragon Ball Z and Super. So he's gonna
Oh
be at
yeah.
2:15. So you get to register, and believe it or not, these programs are free. So all you gotta do is go to www.eastmeadow.info. It's sponsored by the East Meadow Public Library. Again, the East Meadow Public Library. Go to www.eastmeadow.info, like information, and then go to the event calendar. Look for the date on May 15th. Everything is lined up there for you to register. All you gotta do is put in your simple information, contact information, and email so we can send you the Zoom link that day of, and then you can join us and have fun. Again, these programs are free. I don't even care if it's sunny outside, it's a great day. Take your tablet and your cell phone with you and enjoy the programs if you want to go outside or stay inside with us. I'm bringing the convention to your home. So take advantage, guys. MCon, EMCON Online Anime Fest. So come out and hang out with us on May 15th. Thank you. Thanks.
Very excited for that.
Oh, matter of fact, I understand you also have your own convention too as well.
Yes, I do have DistrictCon 2 Virtual Edition on June 5th and 6th from 12 to 5 on both days. And we're going to have a bunch of workshops. And also, we're going to have a bunch of comic creators talk about their books, their Kickstarters, and future projects to come. And you're one of our guests there too as well.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, of course. And I forgot to ask for some links, but I don't know. Are you on Facebook now? If you want to put some links in the chat, you can do so.
I
Or you can give me the links in this chat in Zoom, and I could cut and paste it into the chat if you wish.
We're gonna have the links ready by the end of this week.
Okay.
So yeah, we're getting everything together now.
All right. Cool.
As per like the final the final flyer that's gonna be sent around.
I'll definitely share that off with everybody in MCon too. So if they come to MCon in May, they can get some more free fun in June. Look at that. And we had Sal from PowCon early. He's doing something in July, but that's in-house convention as well.
Yeah,
that's gonna be in New Jersey. You heard of PowCon, right?
Yeah, I went to PowCon last year in January.
Yeah, how was it?
I enjoyed it. You
Good.
know, I had a great time. I We did really good. Sending out like our sampler books for Divided District Studios, and also we actually met one of our new artists for the team,
Hmm.
which is cool. He was our table neighbor, Kenny, in which he's going to be in tonight's show at 10:30 on Instagram. Um,
And where they can see this on Instagram, if they have Instagram right now.
oh, Sketch School underscore Sean.
Yeah, so the link is actually in the scroll below. You probably can see it. So yeah, so that's the link he's talking about. So if you guys want to see more of his artwork and then the more discussion, check out his Instagram and definitely follow, please.
Yes, please. I'm always looking for new followers and people who would enjoy good fresh new stories such as Mikkel. You know,
You know, it's
no,
funny. We
because
actually met at a convention.
yeah, New York Comic Con.
That's right. And it's I don't know at some reason I feel like this was meant to be as we talking now as like because we could have been just two passing ships in New York Comic Con, but some strange reason you and me just meld well together for some reason. I
Yeah,
mean, like it was just
it's a great feeling.
yeah.
No, I'm serious.
I
Like
hear you.
you know, I definitely enjoy uh like vibing out with you then, and I still do now. Like and then not only that, but like I got the privilege of reading your books, and you always tell me like, oh, you should get into comics. You should start doing comics. You should start going to cons. I remember that vividly. You will
Yeah,
always tell me, and I always be like, yeah, it's coming soon, and I always fall short.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now that I'm doing these things, like I guess from jump, like I had your support, mutual support
mm.
on this journey, and yeah, I'm like looking at the growth between the both of us. I love it.
Yeah.
This is
I'll
the
take
most fun I've had.
I'll take some of the credit, but the full credit is usually it's really you, your skills and your ways of trying to move forward and accomplish your goals and into your passion. Because I know with me, it's like you have to do because it's for one thing, it's very inviting. You feel good. When you do what you love. And then feeling accomplishments is always the worthwhile of it all. You know what I mean? Like you actually, yeah, I got that first book done. Whew, like I got some of it off my shoulders. You know what I mean? Like I did that. I did that. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah,
So like for me, I was like, the first book is done, and now I got to continue with the story. Whether people like it or not, I gotta just continue
mm,
and do the thing that I have to do in
yes,
order in order for me to obtain the goal that I want. It is very simple. Draw
yeah.
for the rest of my life and do nothing else.
uh, well, many artists died for their passion and for what they want to do. You know what I mean? So it's the way of it's the way of the artists. This is our journey, man, that we chose. My mother wanted me to be in the medical field like her because she was a nurse.
Same,
So yeah,
same.
she even talked me into when I was young, like 15, 16. She had like this summer camp, not summer camp, but it's kind of like a summer program where teens can come and work at the hospital she worked at. But we just did a lot of clerk duties mainly, really. But I worked in pediatrics that summer, and I guess she thought it would get me into the feeling of working in the hospitals. It's cool and I enjoy it, and whatnot. I got chicken pox for the first time there. Working in
Really?
pediatrics. Yeah, I got chicken pox working at the hospital for the first time and whatnot. And that wasn't cool at all, man. I was like itching all over, man. And then the second year, I worked at the EKG department, and I just did mainly just filing. That was a snore fest. Um, I was like literally falling asleep on myself just filing all these things here and whatnot. We have a comment in the chat. Hey Sean, where were you at PowCon? I was there. I must have met you. This is Mark
Um.
Torres from It Came From the Radio.
Oh, okay. Well, I was next to where. Um. All right. I was a few aisles away, maybe like a minute or two away from the Power Rangers section.
Nice.
Um. I was also near the Nintendo Switch raffle area.
So you must have
I was
got good traffic there, bro.
Oh yeah, I had plenty of good traffic, and I was next to a bunch of elite artists. Like I was so I was so starstruck like by most of these guys, especially Kenny's work, who was next to us, and we just had a great time. There was a guy behind us who was he has like he had nerdy decor and everything, and he was playing some really good music in the back, and yeah, we just had a great time. We made off very well. Like I would do mini cards for people, so I did a bunch of them.
Mm.
Like here's an example of one of them. This is Lena from Home and Worlds Beyond, my book,
Yes.
and this is a little mini card that I did of her, and I was just selling these for like $10
Hmm.
um at the table. And then wait, hold on, let me show you this guy named Thalmus, who became like a really cool friend of mine
Hmm.
online.
Yeah.
Instantly when I met him. Wait, hold on.
Caitlin, no, PowCon, he's talking about a past PowCon that last year. No, PowCon did not pass yet. It's still going to be in July. Just check out their Facebook page. All the information's right there. PowCon is still happening this year. And believe it or not, the organizer of PowCon is a great, well,
Yeah, Sal was really cool. He
yeah,
he definitely took care of us. Unfortunately, we made the decision of not going this year. Try to keep it virtual.
right.
Try if we take the L for this one, I would much rather be safe. I recently, well, not recently, but in December I caught COVID,
Okay,
and I didn't have any symptoms, but
mm,
I knew that like you know this like working in the medical field is it's very serious.
right.
So I didn't want to take that chance. I didn't want to put anyone in danger, just because just because everything is opening up. No, I'm just gonna take it easy for a little bit and just do some work and enjoy.
Did you
But
know?
yeah,
Did you
this
know?
is
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
this is what he drew for me. Gearless Joe from Megalobox.
Oh snap!
With yeah, really nice work. I like the ink work is really clean, and also I keep on forgetting his name, but from Fire Force.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
Uh,
I never seen the anime, but I have seen images of him on like a lot of fan art for that character.
right. But yeah, no. Such a good show. I had fun.
Did you know Sal and I both graduated from the same college together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to hang out with Sal in the computer laboratories back in the days in between classes. I remember when I used to talk with Sal, and he was creating a comic strip about oh my god, it was I think it was like a half man, half cockroach, like some
Uh,
kind of insect creature. And he was I don't know, this I forgot if this was his senior project, but I remember watching him, and he would show me like panels and different artwork of from that. So Sal can draw. Obviously, hopefully he's seen his artwork at New York Comic Con. He had 3D posters he used to sell. I have one in my house, Freddy Krueger, and it was 3D. All his artwork posters were 3D, and you had to get the glasses with it, which
Wow.
was a great gimmick. And Sal, I had to steal that from you, man. I apologize, but I stole that idea, and I was using 3D glasses for my posters as well. These past few years,
Yeah,
but I will give you the credit. You gave me that idea. It was a great gimmick to sell my artwork with.
that's awesome.
You know. Oh man, I feel like we're getting off the subject here because we
No,
still.
it's all right. Like
Yeah.
to break free from that, from a
Yeah,
little
I
bit,
know, right?
but
All
uh,
right, Mark Torres put the let me see, pre-pandemic PowCon 2. They're talking about it. The next one is happening at the end of May. Okay, so it's not July;
yeah,
it's end of May. All right, my fault on that. And so he put out the link of PowCon, I believe, in the chat. Thank you, Mark. And Caitlin says, "Fire Force, it's awesome." So there you go,
yes,
and whatnot. But yeah,
definitely love the show.
so so we were talking about Mortal Kombat, but I don't know. Every time we try to talk about something positive about it, we always turn to something negative right after that, and then we just fade away from it.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean, like you said, I wasn't bored, but the execution just wasn't there. I didn't feel hype. I felt hype maybe because maybe I was a teenager when I watched it, but I still feel hype watching the '95 even up to this day because the music and the atmosphere it offered. Um, I'll say
definitely.
I'll say this: Act One was good. It was a nice good pre-starter, with Scorpion and Sub Zero, and then introducing the main protagonist. So Act One was good. I was definitely into it. Act Two, I drifted off. Act Two was the whole training montage and whatnot. Introducing Sonya Blade and Reptile and whatnot. I was drifting off in there. The montage with the training I was into, but I was a little bit like off a little bit because of the fact of it's just I'm now relearning these characters and trying to associate myself with them with the whole persona of Liu Kang, new persona. Kung Lao was definitely I was definitely feeling Kung Lao. Raiden, I was
Yeah,
yeah, and but the only one that really was my MVP was Kano during that whole moment,
yeah,
and
Kano.
Act Three was it got me up again, but it was still a downslide because they had to have that guy involved with Scorpion. You know what I mean? Like when they were trying to do that, oh, we're gonna both team up on Sub Zero.
Yeah, it was just. I I mean, there was nothing good that came out of that for me. I was trying to find a positive, and then there was nothing positive for me. Uh, I'm all out of sorts, man.
You
You
know what I'm
know,
saying?
I wish I could say something good about it. It wasn't the guy like who said it best. This artist that's also going to be in tonight's show later on. He said maybe a few days prior, no, a week prior. He said it is not his fault. Make your money. If I was starred as a throwaway character or some part character, I would take the money. That's not his fault. His acting was not the problem. The
No, it
fact that
wasn't. No, I
in
have no
general,
quarrels with the actor. No, no,
right?
not at all.
No, but no, I just wanted to put it out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I agree.
But the problem was is that you put a character to a character that no one knows to be your protagonist and be sort of like the Sora of the MK universe
Right.
and deal with all these things to become like you know a deified like well not deified but like destined
Yeah,
if anything a destined character to beat
yeah,
the main antagonist I thought was bogus.
right.
I could not. I don't know why they do the things that they do,
You
but they
think?
do it,
You
and
think
it's
this like the high tier or like studios or executive producers got involved?
Uh,
I mean, think it was like I like the script, but we need to get something fresh and new, and and well, and is the main actor? I know he knows how to fight, and I think he was doing his own stunts too a little bit. Was he originally an MMA fighter, or is he in the UFC or anything like that? That we know of.
I'm not even sure, but what I do know, and now that I said it out loud,
Yeah.
you watched the recent Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele?
No, I know I never catch that show, but go ahead, please throw in your thoughts on
Okay,
it.
so there's this one episode where uh Jordan Peele and the characters kind of break the fourth wall.
Uh huh.
Jordan Peele is the narrator in Twilight Zone, and what happens is that um, Jordan Peele kind of throws in breaks in the fourth wall,
Right.
gets this person to believe in the Twilight Zone, or this writer in the episode, and um, long story short, they put her through all of these scenarios just to get her to meet the original narrator from the original show,
Hmm.
so she can have like that umph to write better stories for the Twilight
Hmm.
Zone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you. But
So
yeah, so
I
how
feel
that go?
like
Yeah.
for that episode, it was like a hat tip, paying homage to the originators. I think this was a shitty way to do it if they was trying to do that in Mortal Kombat.
Caitlin says he was in a show series where he had to fight ninjas. Are you talking about the main protagonist of the film? The what I'm talking about. That guy. I am terrible.
Cole Young.
Cole Young. So
Cole
we know
Young.
he knows how to fight. So let's see. Mark says the actor who played Cole, the lead, was actually Shatterstar in Deadpool Part Two, and yes, he is a martial artist. All right, so
He was Shatterstar.
yeah,
Oh,
fascinating. Yeah.
that's
I'm
dope.
trying to find a connection of like what will make them in their head say, "All right, we're going to scratch Johnny Cage and then use this guy," because they still could have got. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't have said anything if they had used the same guy and just called him Johnny Cage and just gave him a more Oriental background. I would not really care. I don't know what's your thoughts on that, but I wouldn't personally wouldn't really care because
I think
he still had like very mixed Caucasian features. He didn't look fully Asian.
right. He could have been Striker if all I cared.
Right, right. No one cares about Stryker.
Like
That's yeah,
he could have been Striker if all I cared. But
yeah,
he if I like I said before, if they could have, if he was going to be like the guy, he should have been the full on guy and
yeah,
not the grandchild of the guy. And that's just me 110%. You know,
yeah,
I just couldn't deal, and that's pretty much it for
yeah. I hear
me.
you. I hear you, man. I definitely understand you. This movie, and I fear this, man. This movie's gonna be forgotten. I mean, it's gonna be people gonna throw hype out there. They're gonna love it or hate it, and it's gonna be forgotten until they come back stronger with a sequel. And that's what's definitely gonna happen. If they don't come with a sequel, nobody's gonna really spit two dimes about it. Like wonder like what happened to that sequel they promised. No one's gonna. That's just my impression of it all. I don't know if you feel the same
Right,
way as well. If it's a one hit wonder, it it is what it is. But I feel if they do come back with a sequel, they need to come back so much harder to bring back the people who complained about it or even criticized it to the length that we are doing. We'll
yeah.
probably still
I
watch it, but won't I'll we wouldn't my wouldn't be so
Your
high like
expectation.
expectations
Yeah,
wouldn't be as high. I know yours was low, which was probably the best thing to do. But I was very hyped for it, so that's my fault on that. That was me because the trailer got me, and it threw in the right bait. It got in
Yeah,
the Sub Zero and the Scorpion.
it sure did. It caught me too. And then, like, I was so excited until I saw that review,
Yeah.
until there was, like, talk of the town, and you're just like, oh no, don't let it be,
Well, I stay
please.
away from reviews. I stay away from reviews until I saw the movie because I didn't want no influences. Because I know people complain just to complain, but I don't want to see
Right,
their views through my eyes. I want to see it for myself first before I look at the reviews. Then later on, I look at the reviews, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought the same thing. It's
right.
just sad that I was at in Act Two. I was looking at my phone a few times, which I thought it's something called Mortal Kombat, where it's supposed to be exciting and new with all this blood and gore with an R rating. I thought it would catch my 100% attention through the beginning and the end. So I mean, on that note,
Right.
it's just it.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And they did Kung Lao dirty. I'm not gonna say too much, but they did Kung Lao dirty. They threw in that character with the wings, who I don't even know. Shang Tsung was like, "Hey, ain't she beautiful? This is the character we're going to use as an example for your blood and gore." You know what I mean? She had no
The
speaking lines, and we like, all you have to know is check her out. Great graphics, right? Good CGI, right? All right. Watch her get split in half in the next freaking minute now, right?
exactly. It was just like, oh,
uh,
okay. Well, bye, flying lady. Who are you? Like,
yeah.
who are you?
I heard her
Like,
name several times, and I have seen designs of her and whatnot. But even from what I've seen in the, she still doesn't look like what she is in the video game. The video game obviously looks so much better. But why put so much into when they're just gonna use her as an example anyway? You know what I
right.
mean? So, um, the only thing was interesting if they, I think if they really wanted to, they should have just done a full length feature film of Scorpion and Sub Zero, and then ended off with a post credit scene of this new character to get us hype enough, like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's the descendant of Scorpion or whatever. Okay, we'll see how that
Right.
works out. All right, we'll see what's up. But then you're gonna get the people. It will be cool, but then you're gonna get the people who expected to see Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, Raiden. I mean, they still could have thrown Raiden in that movie, but you'll still, you're never gonna have the right people or all the people satisfied. And I think
Yeah.
they did this movie so we get the normies in, the ones who don't know the story and the lore. They know the game, but don't know the story and the lore.
Like, for me, like, I even though I played the game, I'm not too into the lore. I'm just, you just go out outworld, you start whooping on people. That's it.
Yeah,
Street Fighter, same thing.
yeah.
Just, like, fighting games were never great for story, but I do have to say Mortal Kombat has the best story when it comes to fighting games.
You
They
played
have, like,
MK11?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a very cohesive story. Is well fleshed out.
Yeah.
In comparison to, like, King of Fighters or Street Fighter or Tekken. Well, no, not so much Tekken, but even then,
Oh no.
like, Tekken is a little confusing too.
Yeah.
But
That
Mortal
movie
Kombat
didn't do it
definitely.
justice, man. Oh my
No,
god.
no. We are not talking about that.
All right, all right.
I'm
We'll
so
talk.
sorry.
We won't
I'm
talk.
so sorry. I'm so sorry that I mentioned
Yeah,
Tekken.
man. I would watch this
I
movie 10 more times before watching that movie like one more
actually,
time.
I would enjoy to watch it 10 more times. I sat there and watched it twice.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
you know, it and like you would think, like, it's not that bad of a movie. Like, if you want to, is it worth going to the theater and watching it? Probably
Probably not. You don't agree? It's worth watching in the theater.
not. No,
Oh wow.
I disagree.
Even with the
Uh,
surround sound and IMAX feel, I mean, wouldn't that be
yeah,
enough? I mean, so many people watching movies now at home. I kind of miss the whole thing of
I,
like seeing it for the full
me too.
experience.
Me too. I do miss that, but even even then, I was like that. Is it worth having that on?
Oh wow.
You know, to spend the money on? Not, nah, not for me.
Hmm.
And especially if my expectations are low.
Right.
You know that, but that's not to go against anyone who did enjoy the movie.
Right.
I think for me it just wasn't hitting right. Like it hit, but it wasn't hitting right. Did I get nostalgic? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, did I enjoy it for the nostalgia feels? Yeah, you're serious.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm serious about that. But was it a great movie? Not really.
Yeah, it's not a
I get
masterpiece. I mean, if you expected Mortal Kombat to be a masterpiece, then yeah, you really should reevaluate your life. You know, a little bit.
like if you and if you went in to watch the movie expecting a masterpiece, that's even more shocking.
Yeah, man.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's based off of a fighting game. I've been like when it comes to like live action fighting game movies, like I, our we've been let down for so long since Street Fighter, and
Yeah,
I keep mentioning that because that is my favorite out of all the horrible fighting game
the
movies.
one with Jean Claude Van Damme, right?
Yep.
I that was a cool movie at the time. It's just that it, it had so many characters that you really couldn't really fully flesh them out as much. That was one of their main issues with that. It was just way too many characters. They were throwing so much into the barrel, which a lot of them got really confusing, or I should say maybe like had the still they were like the same character but with just a different skin. You know what I mean by that? They were like the
Uh,
same. They were like the same character, but like if you had switch out Ryu and Ken. I mean, granted, their characters are kind of similar, but personality wise and their backgrounds is different. But if you switched them, you would not know. It wouldn't even make a difference, or it's just a lot of them. Yeah, it just didn't.
I feel like
Didn't
I
blend.
mean it definitely did the thing that it I guess they were supposed to do,
Right,
which was make them kind of look like the characters and do the job.
right.
But once again, you know it was coming from someone who did not know the game, did not care for the game really.
Yeah. It's a shame. Again, Mortal Kombat 2021. Guys, I'm not saying that it's not worth watching. It's definitely it's a decent watch. I
Yeah,
don't want to like tell everybody and make them think like negative about it. I know we're talking a lot of negative, but we're just talking in a way where our experiences of how we experience the movie. I mean,
yeah.
it had some flaws. It had like Sean said, it had some great nostalgia, great Easter eggs. Kano was the MVP. Oh, speaking of which, what do you thought about Cabal? Oh
Cabal.
my God,
Yeah, I enjoy Cabal a lot.
yo,
I they you know what? I'm not even going to be that guy to even like nitpick on his costume. The mask was definitely rubbery. I
right?
really they would have solidified, made it look a little more rusted, a little like but that's just me.
Hmm.
Um but Cabal was dope. He was awesome.
He was throwing out those
Expect
cusses out like water, man. Like you're
yeah,
like, yo, this R rated. We're gonna abuse this R for real.
and I love how they him and Kano went back and forth. I love
Yeah,
that banter.
they blend well. They definitely blend well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely there was some good chemistry
yeah,
behind
man.
that.
I would have loved to have seen like like a team up, and at least. But it's like they in that one conversation, that's all we got. We never got to see any type of like more responses or talking or conversing with each other or being in the same room. It felt like once the fight battle started, everybody was doing their own thing, which I can respect that because that's how it is in the game as well. There were never ever like team ups that
I
I can
I,
remember.
I like I like the fact they finally got him to fight because
Yeah,
in not Armageddon but Annihilation he didn't fight. They just mentioned him.
yeah. Yeah,
They
that's right. Yeah, they just threw out a name. I heard behind the scenes that the budget wasn't there. They wanted to add Striker and Cabal and all these characters in there, but they was working on such a small
the
scale
budget.
of budget. I think
Yeah,
it was like 70 million. If I'm oh, 70 million, was it 70 million, somewhere around that number, which but they wanted to go above that to like 100 plus million, and they couldn't get enough money to exploit. That's why a lot of the graphics and CGI was very flawed. Like like it was just straight garbage. No offense, it was a lot of the graphics in that, like especially that monster that came out. They want that attacked Sonya Blade. I don't know. Remember that one part before
yeah.
she fought Melina, which Melina was also another throwaway character. Oh, speaking of which, we thought about Melina's design. I know better
Uh,
than what they did in Annihilation, but we thought about Melina's design.
it was fair. I think
Yeah.
it wasn't spectacular.
Okay.
It was fair. She had, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Lena had, you know, but other than
Yeah.
that, other than that, it wasn't it wasn't grand. They like people on the internet is talking about her hair and stuff like that,
Why? What's wrong
and
with her hair?
um, uh, they were
What's up?
saying like it was very under underkept. I was like, don't nitpick like that. She's a cannibal. She
Mm,
don't care about her hair. She's caring about eating.
exactly.
I love her. I love how they had her. I really wish I would have seen more of her and Katana mostly.
Right?
Or
Now, you think they're
yeah,
gonna use the same character when they introduce Katana and say that's just Katana and just use her? Because they're supposed to be twins, like like right? I mean, that's how the story is. Like
right,
Shao Kahn use her DNA and mix it up with that Baraka's DNA, people's DNA, and made a freaking clone soup or milkshake out of that, and created Melina to be his actual daughter. Am I
right.
saying that right?
Yes.
So Katana should be in the next film, or maybe, or if they do use, it should be the same actress they use.
I mean, and they had the technology to do that.
Yeah,
Let's.
you wanted to
But
see a Melina and Katana interaction,
but
right? Tell me the truth. I would love this.
I do. I would love to see one. Are we gonna get the one that we deserve, or are we just gonna get the, you know?
Shang Tsung could always bring her back as like one of those dark evil clones, on like the one he did in MK9, and she could release all that,
Right.
like thoughts about Katana doing that. I mean, she'd be gray and looking busted, but she's busted now, so what be the difference? She'd just be gray and look kind of decayish.
Mm-hmm.
So but I was still, again. This is Mortal Kombat, so people do have to die. But again, I felt bad that she had to be killed off, and she was kind of like a throwaway character. They were trying to give her some kind of clout, with her talking to Shang Tsung and during that time. And Outworld, what do you thought about Outworld?
Outworld. I liked how it looks. Um, it showed like more depth to it. I think
You think
it
so?
wasn't too dark, but there was. I mean, there's a little bit more that anyone could have seen, but
Right.
it looked good to me.
I got
I didn't
more. I
have any
got more
complaints.
details out of Outworld. Now, sorry to cut you off. I got more details out of Outworld from the '95 film.
95. Yeah.
They even had the tower. They could have done the same thing and have Shang Tsung in being the
Right.
tower where instead of that whole big throne, like he's like freaking Skeletor, waiting on his henchmen to come and talk about He-Man. You know what I mean? That's what the vibe I got out of that. It felt like
Yeah.
Skeletor talking to his henchmen. Damn that He-Man! Ah! You know, it's like that's the vibe I got. You know, it was like just another day. His henchmen come in to talk to Skeletor and whatnot, and
Right.
you know, and Outworld seemed like someone fresh out of college made that whole up in computer graphics. It was very. It looked like a freaking wallpaper for your computer. You know what I mean? Again, I hate talking negative about it, but it's just I wanted more depth. This supposed to have been an updated model of the '95 film, or at least better, and they could have put so much more into that, and more development of the world of Outworld. If you even want to go that far, just show where Shang Tsung's headquarters is. Show the tower
Right.
and just leave it there. We would have been fine with that. But seeing outside and everybody's in cloak and dark, like when go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking. I'm rambling. I'm
No,
ranting.
no,
I'm ranting.
no, absolutely. I just want to make this point, and then I'll let you continue. No, you're absolutely right. I wish now that you put it that way, did we really see as much as we saw in '95? And you're absolutely right. There was probably like what, one or three scenes, and yeah, but for me, it was just like, huh, I wasn't really focused on.
Exactly. You lost focus. Your mental was somewhere else. You were just looking at flashing colors and enjoying the
You
show.
know,
I get
yeah,
it.
especially if this is not the tournament yet. Um, I, I, I guess it would be to expect something like that where you're not going to really see much.
Yeah. So
If
they're
that's
so they're saying that they just don't see the magician behind the curtains just yet. You know, we're just saving that for the next later movies.
word, but at the same time, no, you're absolutely right. You peep that, and there should have been a little bit more.
You know, so we got like a few minutes left. I'm gonna call it a day and whatnot. And you know, I really appreciated Sean you hanging out with me this
Absolutely,
evening,
man.
man.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And I don't
I
want to take
love.
you away too much far away from your Tonight Show because you're gonna be working double shift today with me and then
Oh
with your
yeah.
own thing. So I really appreciate this you hanging out with me. You
Thank
know,
you so
and
much, man.
discussing, yeah, man, discussing Mortal Kombat. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Even when we did the other show last year with the other artists, whatnot. I felt bad. I felt I was keeping you up way too late. You had to eat and everything with me.
Yeah, like yeah, we shamelessly was eating during the
No,
panel.
it was fine. It was fine. I felt bad because you looked tired. You just did jogging too that day and all that. I remember all that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, I did ran that day.
you know what I mean. So I felt bad, you know, and we had all these artists with us. That's why I think it was kind of
But
cool just keeping it just me and one other artist, so we can blend well and get everything out without so many people interrupting.
which
But
is
go ahead.
cool because I made a lot of good friends from that panel. You know, like Jorel.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he pops in and out of the lives every now and then,
yeah.
and he shows lots of love and support. And oh my goodness, I did the oh no, I can't believe I did it.
What you do, man?
Um, I went on a layer. I went over a
I
layer.
do that so many times, man. My wife calls me the king of layers because I'll be having like 300 layers on one, and I sometimes just like pick right over it. But what
And
about history? You have history. You could go over that, right?
yeah. So I just
All right,
now I
man.
went to the right layer.
That Goro's beast, man, for real. I
Thank
love,
you.
you know, I just looking at the thickness of that. Now that looked like that could do some damage for real. I want
Yeah,
to see him fight Hulk.
this like when I imagine Goro, I imagine him to be like freakishly like the shoulders have to be like a has to be like football pads, and
Yeah.
it's just like like it looks like he can't even move those arms, but but that's the
He
type of
has
muscle.
servants to wipe his butt when he takes a dump, man. He like, hey, come here.
He doesn't. He just like he wipes his butt on the wall and he just like that's how beastly this creature is.
Oh my
He
god.
he he doesn't even hire a servant.
Well, he is a prince, though. I would think he
Yeah.
would.
I
Yeah,
mean,
my son's checking out your drawing. He loves it.
thank you.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's the reference he's using. Yeah, exactly. So let's end it off with this now. We said so much things about this movie. We critiqued it till we showed like no mercy. We like did a fatality on this movie on reviewing it, critiquing it. I think it was a flawless victory, but on both on our ends. But what would you rate this as? Will you rate this as uh, bull BS, or will you say this a high rental, low rental, or will you
I
go to
think
movies with this?
if you want to watch a good movie, I mean this movie did the thing.
Okay,
Let's
there you go.
let's be real. It
Yep,
did the thing.
yep.
It wasn't extremely terrible. It wasn't. Uh, was it a dumpster fire movie? Yeah, sort of, kind of.
Oh snap! Gotcha,
Uh,
gotcha.
but that's for my taste. That's just my taste. But then again, you'll be surprised at the grade that I give it,
Hmm.
which is a C plus.
A C plus.
A C plus.
All right, so
There
let's do
was
that
certain
then.
there was certain things that they could have done that I felt strongly about that they missed the ball on. It would have made more sense
Definitely.
for Cole Young to be in if he was more possessed by Scorpion and completely
Oh
possessed
hell yeah!
like the
I'm loving that idea.
um if it would have played like that, then I would have been a little bit more satisfied with his welcome here at the World of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, it's a decent movie to watch if you're just like cleaning up the house and or just chilling and you just want to watch something to pass the time. It's a good
Yeah.
movie to
Yeah.
watch. Is it a good movie cinematically? Not really.
Mm.
Like you're not going in there for the story,
Yeah.
and like I said before, it's just one of those movies that you enjoy for I guess for the lows.
Yeah. The fatalities, the blood and gore, the R rating. Mark here says, I saw it for free and I still want my money back.
Ah, it was too late for that.
But I agree to all those things you just said. You just mentioned. You think they're gonna do Cole dirty like they did in Annihilation and kill him in the next movie, like Johnny Cage.
Yeah, he's gonna get caged.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna get caged. Yes.
I'm not even sure. I don't think so. You made the bed, now lie in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, if they go forward with that idea you said with him, slowly and surely being possessed. I know you want to be fully possessed, but I wouldn't mind a slow conversion of his
yeah, no,
character.
that's what I mean. Like during, like in the beginning, like let that process be slow until it's complete submission
Right,
to the point where Cole is no longer recognizable.
right.
To the point where like his body isn't even there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So since you give it a C plus, you say a C plus. I'm just going to give this movie a B minus. I'm going to be nice. I'm a nice guy. Everybody knows Kel is a nice guy and whatnot. It doesn't deserve an A or A plus. I'm going to give it a B minus.
Hey, all right.
It might be a C. I'll be honest with you, maybe a straight C. But
Yeah.
because as we talking, I feel like it's a straight C. But I'm gonna say a B minus. I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, Act 2 I traded off a little bit. Act 1 was cool. Act 3 was great because the whole ending was Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Um, it's just that the main character was not a great good character to follow in the movie. When especially when you have side characters, which of course are well established, and you tread your attention away from him, which he kind of faded in the background toward it all, and it just wasn't the best character. And I don't know who had in mind thought this was a great idea, but anyway, the characters was cool. I liked some of the character designs. The story was very surprising in the fact that I thought I was going to be watching a tournament, but this was just a pre-tournament. So
Yeah.
that kind of
So
shocked me.
I couldn't even give it a higher grade or a lower grade
Yeah,
because this ain't the rest of the story. I'm going to watch the next one.
you're right. But and as we talking about it, and I hate to expand this conversation more, but I'll keep it short though. Did you feel Scorpion was like Scorpion light?
Um,
Like
I mean,
I mean the beginning was brutal scenes. Don't get me wrong. I mean chopping off the arms, stabbing the head, da da da. Yeah, but did you feel like Scorpion was kind of like like Diet Cola in a way? Like
mm,
it
like
wasn't. I
the
didn't get chills when I saw
Scorpion
Scorpion.
Light.
Yeah, it was kind of Scorpion like to me. He felt kind of
Yeah,
Scorpion light. I don't know because of his interaction with his great grandson, but it felt a little bit Scorpion like to me. Um, Seeing his face, I wish they kind of blanked out his eyes a little bit, like like in the movie or in the anime, in the video game, like all white. Seeing his
right.
pupils kind of give him some kind of humanity a little bit, and I didn't want to see that humanity. I want to see him a vengeful spirit.
Yeah,
I know they
and
had, yeah,
that's exactly what he was supposed to be. And if once again, if that if they would have just did the thing with him, I think it would have been a little bit more
yeah,
easier to digest, and
yeah.
even yeah, but you know what? I was satisfied with the Scorpion that we got.
Okay. You and that's okay. I respect that. I was
I mean,
okay too. I liked it. I liked it, but it just
Scorpion was Scorpion. Like you can't get more Scorpion than get over here.
right. Yeah, yeah, but it's just
He even did the fatality.
he. Yeah, but I enjoyed Johnny Cage skull fatal with the flamethrower through the mouth.
What?
He took the
Right.
face off, and you see the full skull. Cringy and cheesy as it was, I get it. They had the technology now to give him like some of the skull features where he was throwing out that. But you telling me that he's throwing hellfire on you? It wasn't enough to make him like ash. Like I could see a couple of skeletons, but there was still some flesh on those bones, man. I mean, I was, I'm critiquing here, but I'm a little disappointed of seeing some flesh on those bones. This is supposed to be hellfire. He should have
Yeah.
been like black dust with some bones in that pile, not still fleshed out, just black with a cup with some kind of ash in it. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here. I don't know. I'm nitpicking. I'm sorry. I'm going
No,
too far with it.
I mean, but at the same time, like, all right. At the same time, it's just how his fatality was.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I'm going to a C now. I'm sorry. I'm going to no B minus C.
uh, I feel you. That's why I gave him a C minus.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to be
Um,
nice. I'm trying to be nice, but
but you gotta sometimes it doesn't pay to be nice.
yeah,
But like I like the Mortal Kombat movie for the nostalgia.
yeah,
Everything else about it was just like, come
yeah,
on, you're letting me down.
yeah.
Am I gonna watch the next one? Definitely.
Yeah, I want to. I'll watch it because I want to see the progression of the characters and see if they're actually going to fulfill what those needs are that we didn't get in the first part. So I'm definitely going to check out the next one. No matter whenever that be, I'm sure it'll be like another what? What do you think? Like 4 or 5 years from now? I mean, still
Maybe
dealing with COVID. I mean, even that gotta like slow things down, stuff like that. So
2 years, but
yeah, fingers crossed.
maybe 2 years, not so much. Like,
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, this was fun. I really appreciate it, Sean. Thank you for hanging
uh,
out with me, man.
Thank you for having me, man. I
Woo!
appreciate this. I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait for the next
We
one, guys.
definitely,
Again, check it out. You'll be entertained. Just don't have high expectations and don't think about this game gonna be wild. If you like Mortal Kombat, you'll enjoy this, but just don't expect a masterpiece. Just watch it with a clear mind, and just if you have to check your phone, check your phone. But just enjoy the film and enjoy the fatalities. I mean, if you're there for the
oh
gore and
yeah,
fatalities, yeah,
oh
this
yeah,
is it.
yeah,
This is it.
yeah.
But don't expect a great storyline to follow with that. Just enjoy the light show.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Again, check out Sean MacArthur. Check out his work. Is there anything you want to plug in, like any websites besides the convention? Maybe you want to say that again and where they can
Yes,
find it.
you can find me at Sketch School underscore Sean. That's where I hold my art. That's where I do my Tuesday night shows at 10:30 to 11:30, called After Party, and we do a drink and draw, and we talk about stuff. I'm also a comic book illustrator and writer, and I my comic book company that's a company oh, which is also partnered by my girlfriend Jody DeReal. We are Divided District Studios. We make we make some pretty cool books. Come and check us out at divideddistrictstudios.com. Pick up a book. It's only $5 for both Home and Worlds Beyond and Euphoria. So 10 books for both books. And also we have a virtual release party for our books, and we're going to be talking about Kickstarters and other projects that are coming out very soon for our company. It's going to be great. Please stop by, check us out. There's plenty of information on each program, each platform that we're on, which is Facebook, Instagram, pretty soon TikTok, Twitter. Well, Twitter is coming up soon as well, but we're just expanding even more. It's getting crazy, and pretty soon, once I get everything together, you can find me on Twitch under Sean underscore McArt.
McArt. I
Yep.
like that. Why didn't you call yourself Sean McArt in the beginning? That's awesome.
Oh,
MacArthur McArt.
because when I start teaching, I wanted to call it the McArt Academy.
Hmm. Nice. I like that, man. I'm showing off your books here and on my screen here too as well. I
Awesome.
let you see it, but yes guys, I have his books here too. Him and his girlfriend's book here. This one here, Home and Worlds Beyond. This yeah, you gotta check this out. And I've been seeing some future pages that he's been doing on Instagram. So you definitely have to follow him to see some page. If you have his book, check out his Instagram. He has some future pages you can check out. And also I got his girlfriend's Euphoria. This one, this one got me, man. I'm not trying to put one on top of the other, but this one I have to see what happens next because this one is insane, bro. I would love to talk to you more about this in another maybe drawing session. I wish we probably got more in depth with it. And when this one here, I was like, women taking over the world and men are slaves, and wow, this one I gotta get the next book, Euphoria. I gotta check this
Yeah.
joint out, and also Homeworlds Beyond. And I have to check this out. This your next book too, because you left me off with a cliffhanger. Not saying they don't
Yeah.
both have a cliffhanger, but I want to know what goes on with it and with this character's new world. What's happening with this? So definitely
Oh
some
yeah.
headbangers there, and I love the artwork.
Thank you.
Next time I'll show it off in our next drawing session in the near future. Maybe then when Invincible is over on Amazon,
Oh
we
yeah.
could probably set something up and we could talk about comic books because it's based off a comic book. So we could probably
Yeah.
talk about that too and show off your work there as well. So I'm gonna call it a day because I know we have plans in the next few 10:30, right? So I'm gonna call
Yeah.
this a night, man. Thanks a lot, man, for hanging out with
Thank
me.
you.
This was a blast. This was a lot more fun than me just talking to myself. So
I'll
And I
come
hope
back
this
next
helps
time.
out.
Anytime, man. Let me know. I'm all for it. I love drawing with people and just like doing work and just enjoying that type of conversation. Hence why I do what I do.
Yeah, man.
And I like I love it with company. It's always better with
Of
company.
course, always, man. Especially with the right company.
Yeah.
So everyone, have a good night. Stay safe and
Good
healthy.
night, everybody.
All right. So stay blessed, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you next week, God willing. Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I'll talk to you guys later. Night and Day Anime, and we're out. I usually have some music playing, but I'm not gonna do it this time.